Good evening and welcome to this week's installment of the Extermitech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. The Montgomery Sports Network is your destination in the River region of Alabama for the best in high school sports coverage. From live broadcasts to full games to on-demand replays and game highlights, it's all right here on the Montgomery Sports Network. Tonight we are at Carlisle Field in East Montgomery as St. James will play host to Trinity in an Old Capital City Conference matchup. Before we start off the pregame show and get to the keys to tonight's games, here are a few words from our sponsors.
Extermitech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermitech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermitech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermitech 334-209-4590. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
Montgomery's new at-work station is 96.1 KISS FM. The biggest and best playlist and long sets of non-stop music. But I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. 96.1 KISS FM. Just the music you know and love. Montgomery's new at-work radio station.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was reelected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
Experience the history of the first country music superstar and see how Hank Williams transformed country music and sowed the seeds of what was to become American music. Visit the Hank Williams Museum, nestled in historic downtown Montgomery, Alabama. The Hank Williams Museum is one of the top tourist attractions in Alabama. Museum hours are 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday, and 1 to 4 on Sunday. And they offer group rates, AAA, and military discounts.
And welcome back here to Carlisle Field and then the Extermitech Pest Control Game of the Week on the Montgomery Sports Network as St. James getting ready to play host to Trinity. Two long old-time rivals meeting here. Old Capital City Conference matchup tonight here on Week 11 of the Extermitech Pest Control Game of the Week. My name is Kane Young. I'm here with Joseph Sims again. And, Joseph, good to have you back with us again for Week 11.
Oh, man, thank you for having me. It's exciting to be out here in the cold weather, ready for some football.
So the temperature drastically different here as we turn the calendar into November compared to what it was in early October, 100 degrees for some of those October games we had earlier in the season. And we're going to get down into the 40s, potentially even the 30s tonight here during this contest. So We'll take a moment here before we get into the keys of the game to thank our sponsors on the Montgomery Sports Network. Our first sponsor, our title sponsor, Extermatech Pest Control. Locally owned and operated, Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. Voted the best in Montgomery. If you have bugs bugging you, call Extermatech. They have been bugging the competition for 15 years. Call 334-209-4590. We also say thank you to attorney Matt Matthews of ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com. Workers' compensation attorney Matt Matthews has many years of experience litigating workers' compensation cases in Alabama. If you are hurt on the job, he can help you get the benefits you deserve. Visit ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com or call 334-721-4878. We also say thank you to the Hank Williams Museum located in downtown Montgomery. This 6,000-square-foot museum can be found at 118 Commerce Street. You can take a step back in time and learn about the musical history and life of a Montgomery man who is known as the legendary singer and songwriter Hank Williams. Browse the large gift shop. Groups are always welcomed at the Hank Williams Museum. We also say thank you to Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Chris's is celebrating its 102nd year in business in the capital city. Located just a few steps from the state capitol at 138 Dexter Avenue. Chris's also caters. Have Chris's Hot Dogs at your next meeting or event. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition. Call your orders in advance at 334-265-6850. And here is Joseph with the rest of our sponsors.
We'd like to thank Midstate Burglar Bars and Ironworks. Midstate Burglar Bars and Ironworks is a local and owned and operated business. They've been in business since 1985 and serve Montgomery and the surrounding counties. Midstate builds and installs burglar bars, AC guards, hand railings, fencing, storm doors, and more. Make sure to check out their decorative handrails, a true work of art. Call Midstate at 334-313-9015. And La Zona Rosa Mexican Cafe. Located at 2838 Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the finest Mexican restaurants in the area. Check out their great build-your-own lunch and dinner selections and updated menus. Make La Zona Rosa your choice for authentic Tex-Mex and Salvadorian cuisines. Open Monday through Saturday. Call 334-274-1153. And Delta Printing and Sign Company. Delta Printing and Sign Company opened in 1979 and is still local and family-owned. As a second-generation business, they have stayed true to their roots. They get to know their customers and take pride in helping meet their printing needs and stay within their budget. Their goal is the same as it was when they first opened, to provide a quality product at a competitive price, accompanied with exceptional customer service. So remember, no matter what it is, when you need signs, printing, direct mail, let Delta do it. Call 334-271-COPY. And our media partner, the stations of Blue Water Broadcasting, News Talk 93.1, KISS FM 97.9 Jams, Bama Country 98.9, Yo 100.5, Classic Country The Possum, 104.9 The Gump, and 107.1 The Vault. They are local folks helping local businesses. Call them today and let them help your business at 334-244-0961.
And one other sponsorship, we'd like to thank Mac the Camera Guy Photo Booths. Visit MacTheCameraGuy.com for all your photo booth needs for corporate, weddings, proms, and other events, birthday parties. Mac the Camera Guy will get you hooked up. Visit MacTheCameraGuy.com. We thank all of our sponsors here during the 2019 season. Tell them we sent you from the Montgomery Sports Network. We appreciate them helping us bring you high school football each and every Friday night. So, Joseph, we're here. Carlisle Field. We have St. James coming in here 8-1 on the season. Trinity 6-3. Both teams headed to the playoffs. Both teams going to host a playoff game next weekend. They both finished second in their respective regions. It's an interclass matchup of 4A versus 3A. But it is senior night and two long old-time rivals getting back together again here in East Montgomery.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how Coach Jim Perry looked at this game. As you stated, both teams made the playoffs, so this isn't a playoff implication game. We'll see how they handle their players and trying to stay a little healthy heading into the playoffs next week. Like I said, they're both hosting a playoff game, so they definitely want to stay healthy heading into the playoffs. They could see each other again maybe in the playoffs.
So we'll get into our keys to the game here. We'll start with the visitors from Trinity, just making the short couple-mile drive here to the east. We'll start with the first key tonight for Trinity, that defense. Talk about formation identification.
Yeah, you got to be able to realize what formation the St. James offense is in. They'll mix it up. They'll run triple auction. They'll run wing tee. They'll throw the ball. They'll run the ball. You never know what they're going to do. They'll line up in all type of funky formations. You got to be able to who got the ball, where the ball is going, the motion in front of you. It's going to be difficult out there.
And sometimes half the battle is just lining up correctly. So St. James is going to throw a lot of stuff at Trinity here on the offensive side. Second key tonight for the visiting Wildcats, the aerial assault led by quarterback John David Bonner.
Yeah, and he's going to have to throw the ball. He had a big game last week, almost 4 touchdown passes. So he's going to look for that same type of high play offense from him tonight. He's going to have a difficult task in front of him in that St. James defense. But he may have to use his feet, maybe spread the defense around, escape the pocket. You never know how it's going to work out there on that in the trenches.
Yeah, Bonner 4 touchdowns last week versus BTW Tuskegee. Look for Will Roberson or Coleman Ellis out there. They had a couple touchdown catches last week against Tuskegee. And the third key tonight, cold weather. Not used to it, and here we are in the 40s tonight for this game.
I don't think anybody's used to it here in Alabama. You never know what you're going to get. One day it is 100 degrees, and the next day it's 30 degrees. No idea what's out there. Mother Nature's having a field day out here confusing us, and it's going to confuse the players tonight. It's going to be different playing in a little cold weather. They, like I said, they're used to playing in almost 100-degree heat, 80-degree heat here late at night. So we'll see. Interesting how they react. Some players tend to want to wear long sleeves, but I've also seen players that affects them, how they catch the ball, how they handle the ball. So if they can't wear their long sleeves, that might cause their skin to get dry, and maybe it's easier to punch the ball out. So we'll look at see if that affects the turnover game. And
we'll turn to the homestanding St. James Trojans for their keys to tonight's game, and we'll start off first. No turnovers for St. James. They have a quarterback, Drew Fett, who has not thrown an interception this year, but Trinity is a team that likes to feast on turnovers.
Yeah, they like to feast on turnovers and not make any turnovers. Like I said, he stayed clean in that interception margin all throughout the season. We'll see if that stays clean tonight. And I just mentioned that in this cold weather, it affects some players and how they handle the ball, how dry it gets their hands. The ball gets dry. It's not moist out there. So and even I've heard from players that when the ball is a little wet or maybe a little moist, it tends to get a little sticky. You hear that from baseball players, sometimes pitchers especially, makes them help throw a curveball here and there. It can actually help a quarterback throw a tighter spiral or a deeper pass. And with a dry ball like it is going to be out there and dry hands, it can affect how you throw the football. I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually scientifically proven.
And second key tonight for St. James will be to feed Alston, the senior running back, Austin Gavin, for St. James.
Austin Gavin is a huge offensive weapon for the Trojans. Had 184 yards 184 carries for 1,268 yards, 6.9 yards per carry. So he is a huge weapon, and he'll look to continue that. He's probably going to break the 1,300 mark in this game, and they like to feed him, and they like to feed him early.
And third key for St. James, just as it was with Trinity, the cold weather. The Trojans playing in cold weather just like Trinity for the first time this year.
Yeah, it's going to be, like I said, I already said, it's going to be interesting to see how the players respond. I don't like the cold weather. I know most people from the South don't like the cold weather, and I'm sure the players don't either.
So we'll take a quick moment here, go have a break just a second. Remind you, that once again, you're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll get the national anthem and get this game kicked off.
Experience the history of the first country music superstar and see how Hank Williams transformed country music and sowed the seeds of what was to become American music. Visit the Hank Williams Museum, nestled in historic downtown Montgomery, Alabama. The Hank Williams Museum is one of the top tourist attractions in Alabama. Museum hours are 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday, and 1 to 4 on Sunday. And they offer group rates, AAA, and military discounts.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
Selfie. Nailed it.
Montgomery's best country is on Bama Country 98.9 WBAM. Bama Country with Bubba and Christy every weekday morning 5:30 to 10 a.m.
We're gonna have a
Bama Country, playing today's best country and all the country legends. Bama Country 98.9 WBAM. Listen to Bama Country 98.9 WBAM.
Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks Incorporated is a locally owned and operated business in Montgomery, Alabama. And we've been in business since 1985 and served Montgomery and the surrounding counties with burglar bars, ironworks. Our philosophy is being honest, dependable, and treating each customer with respect and selling a quality product at a fair price. If you need burglar bars or ironwork of any kind, call Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks, Montgomery. Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She carried 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
And that was the national anthem performed by the St. James Band, as we're just about 10 minutes from kickoff between Trinity and St. James here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week as you're watching the Montgomery Sports Network. Remind you, visit our website, mymgmsports.com. You can find all of our past games there. You can also go to YouTube and search Montgomery Sports Network. Go to our Facebook page, like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at mymgm sports. A lot of avenues for you to find the archived games from last year and this year. And also highlights from the past season here. So make sure you check that out. There's videos available on YouTube throughout the year, and you can go back and watch them over the spring and the summer if you're looking for some football action once the offseason hits. So this matchup tonight, 2 old-time rivals. Trinity leads the series 33-10, Joseph, but St. James has won 3 in a row, including 31-21 last year in 2018.
Wow, so maybe Trinity or St. James trying to look to go 31 in a row now after they getting that 3-game win streak. I'm looking at the roster here, and they don't have a lot of power, I guess you could say. I guess power would be the wrong word. They don't have a lot of weight on them, especially at the wide receiver position, usually where you want to have a little bit of meat on your bones. 200 pounds, the only wide receiver at that is Andrew Sadie, number 27. So we'll look to see if he's the only one that I see that's at least somewhat 6 foot.
And the coaching matchup, Barry Loyal in his 3rd season has the task of replacing the legendary Coach Ragsdale at Trinity. He is 15-16 in 3 seasons. Trinity 6-3 this year. They finished 2nd in the region. They will have a home playoff game against Andalusia next week. They lost to Andalusia in week 2 on the road, 21-10. But in that game, Andalusia scored twice in the first 2 minutes of the game and led 14-0 and was able to hang on and get a victory there. So Trinity will be licking their chops to get revenge next week. As for St. James, they are led by the legendary Jimmy Perry. He is 60-28 in his 8 years at St. James, but of course he was the head coach at Robert E. Lee here in Montgomery, led Lee to the state championship game in 1999, was also the head coach at St. Paul's down in Mobile. The overall record of his career, 125-60. They finished second there in their region after winning a region title last year. Coach Perry has 8 region titles on his resume, including one in 2018 with St. James. But basically, St. James next week in the playoffs, they will have a home game. They finished second in their region. They are 8-1. They will play Oakman right here at Carlisle Field. So both these teams looking to use that home field advantage to advance into the playoffs here as we start next week in 2019.
Yeah, and I've kind of already mentioned it at the earlier part of the broadcast. What I'm looking for is what or when the coaches will start to say, hey, maybe, we need to pull the starters. Maybe we need to start looking ahead at injury. And I've always been an avid supporter of no matter who it is or when it is, you got to go out there and you got to win the game no matter what implications it has. I know that's a big support from Nick Saban. He likes to say that there's no such thing as a cupcake game or there's no such thing as a bye week when you actually have a game. So it'll be interesting to see what they do out there on the field tonight.
Yeah, and it's an interesting dilemma. I was reading another newspaper article this week about another team, 5A team, and the article was basically insinuating that maybe they should take their starters out and just get through this week. And a lot of these kids, though, they only get so many high school games in their career, maybe 30 if you play for 3 years, 10 through 12. If you're a senior, you want to be out there the whole time as you're winding down your career. So it's a dilemma these coaches face. But at the end of the day, this is a rivalry game, and I'm almost certain we'll see these guys go full throttle here in week 11.
Yeah, I'd surely hope so. And of course, that's what the fans want to hear. Nobody wants to go home a loser of a football game, but of course somebody will have to. And like you said, St. James has come strong these past few years, going 3 in a row. But Trinity leads the all-time rival, and they've got the better record this year. St. James has got the better record this year, but Trinity's going to come out here and throw a little trick plays at St. James, see what works, and then use that in the playoffs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We had Trinity earlier. We saw their first victory of the season against Alabama Christian Academy on the road. They won that game 24-12. It was a game which they featured on turnovers. They got a fumble early in the game, scored a touchdown on the first play after the fumble. They blocked a punt for a safety, used another turnover to score, and the defense really turned into the offense in that game for Trinity. And since that point, they started putting some big numbers up, 44 on Headland. They put 33 on Montgomery Academy. They put 48 on Ashford and 43 last week at Booker T. Washington on the road, but it's been John David Bonner in the passing attack. Of course, running back Tate Holly gives them a good balance in the run game with 2 touchdowns last week against Tuskegee. Defensively for Trinity, some of the key players, Mace McGill and Jim Porter, and a host of other tacklers. Trinity very disciplined on defense. Team that doesn't like a lot of penalties, but we talk about in the keys of the game, St. James is going to throw a lot of formation. They're going to throw a lot, especially early in the game here. So identifying where you're supposed to line up is going to be one of the major factors for that Trinity defense.
Yeah, and that benefits St. James in a major way when you can line up in any type of formation and then utilize it, because scheming is such a big part when you don't maybe have the depth as another team. When you scheme correctly, no matter who you're playing, you can beat anybody. Because if you catch them lacking or lined up in the wrong position, that's an easy TD.
And for St. James, the quarterback Drew Fett, 33 for 60 on the year, 767 yards passing, 13 touchdowns against 0 interceptions. Hopefully I did not jinx him. Austin Gavin, the running back, as Joseph said in the pregame, going to almost 1,300 yards this year, 16 touchdowns on the ground, has 6.9 yards per carry, a very impressive number. Main wide receiver for St. James, number 4, Alexander Wisenhunt, 14 catches for almost 300 yards on the season, averages over 20 yards a catch, also has 4 touchdown receptions. The other aspect both these teams have, excellent kickers. They both have the ability to kick long field goals. They both have the ability to put the ball in the end zone on the kickoffs if they choose to do so.
Yeah, and that's a major part of a team. We've talked about that a lot on the network here in the past few games, is how a kicker can change the complexion of a whole game. Get the ball all the way down to the 30, maybe the 25, and not having to go for it. You can kick a field goal, walk away with some points, and pin your opponent back deep. That is a major asset that not a lot of teams, not a lot of high school teams, not a lot of college teams can say.
And the captains for Trinity have made their way out here. Looks like Griffin Sanders, number 29, 77, Watkins Johnson, See number 32 out there, Coleman Morris, and number 10, Mays McMillan. So some of these guys will go both ways. I think St. James will have a few more players play both ways than Trinity will. Trinity has a lot more bodies on the roster, probably about 15 to 20 more as far as the team goes. St. James is a 3A school. Trinity is a 4A. So for years they played each other in the Capital City Conference, the old rivalry of the private schools here. Some of the rivalries have kind of gone by the wayside as teams have moved to different classifications over the last couple of seasons. But week 11 for these, the seniors here is winding down. We're still about 5 minutes from kickoff, but just a big opportunity, a big crowd gathering here, filling in tonight here at Carlisle Field. But for Trinity, they want to end that 3-game streak. This is a series they have controlled traditionally over the years, and St. James has been able to win the last 3, kind of shifted the momentum here. It's going to be difficult on the road, but Trinity obviously capable of getting a win tonight.
Yeah, and it's just and we continue to say it's all going to be about that formation identification. That's a fun word to say. But if they can't identify anything at all on offense, they don't know what they're going to run, they don't know where the ball is going to go, pre-snap, they're going to get picked apart, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on John David Bonner, their quarterback in that offense, to continuously put up points. If you ask me, hey, this is going to turn into a shootout, I don't think Trinity has a chance. So I think St. James wins the shootout battle. But if they continue to battle on defense, does Trinity, then they'll have a pretty good chance to come out here and regain maybe some control in this game.
Captains headed to the center field. The captains for St. James, number 54, Matt Prater, number 44, Paul Woodham, and number 87, Michael Shaleta, headed out there for the coin toss. We'll try to zoom in there and see what's happening and let you know what's happening with that. But again, we thank you for watching the Montgomery Sports Network this year, the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. Again, you can follow us at mymgmsports.com. Find the old games on there. You can also go to YouTube and search Montgomery Sports Network. Find the games on there from last year and this year, also highlight videos. So a lot of avenues for you to keep up with us. Go to Twitter at mymgmsports and Instagram, mymgmsports. Also go to our Facebook page, like us on there. A lot of you have been doing that throughout the season. So we appreciate each and every one of you tuning in each Friday night here with us on the Montgomery Sports Network. And it looks like Trinity has deferred or St. James maybe has deferred. We're going to turn it around. I think Trinity won the toss. They did. They deferred. So St. James is going to get the football first. So we're going to see that Trinity defense go out there at the beginning and try to set the tone in this game. St. James will get on offense here, and we'll see the wide variety of formations that Coach Perry and his staff will put out there. I watched film today, and I watched a little bit of film of a St. James game earlier in the season, and the first 2 drives, I didn't see the same formation once. They were going double tight end, 2 receivers. They were going some wing back stuff. They were going with the traditional I formation, and then they were spreading it out, and they were just throwing a host of stuff at their opponent early in the game.
Yeah, and I think the scheming for that offense is a testament to why Drew Fett does not have any interceptions this year. And that's, when he knows where he's going to go with the football before the ball is snapped, it makes it easy on a quarterback. You see the defense is confused, the play, they don't, and it's really easy to just pick apart a defense, and especially when you have Austin Gavin in the backfield.
So St. James is headed out wearing the all blue tonight. Trinity wearing the all-white as they break out of their banner and head out here to the near sideline. We're on the visitor side here at Carlisle Field tonight for our perspective. As we said, temperature dropping into the 40s. It was down into 32, 33 last night in Montgomery. If you were out trick-or-treating, the wind was blowing all over the place, but we have virtually no breeze here tonight. Looking at the flag off to the south end zone, it is standing completely still at the moment, so wind does not look like it's going to be a factor, although the cold weather will be here. Both these teams not used to playing in these conditions, but as we move into the playoffs, obviously the calendar should dictate that the weather gets much colder here as we have these Trinity students off to our left here. You'll hear a lot of noise from them throughout the night. Kicking off will be Luke Adams for Trinity, number 88 for the Wildcats. And back deep is going to be number 3, Austin Gavin for St. James, along with number 44, Paul Woodham, one of the captains. So we'll get this thing teed off here. Crowd filling in. Good night, crisp night here in November for Alabama high school football as Week 11 gets underway here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. You are watching the Montgomery Sports Network. And this kid's going to sail into the end zone for a touchback, so there we see the kicking game already have an effect as Trinity's going to force St. James to try to go 80 yards here on this opening possession.
So we'll see what type of formation St. James comes out in and what they mix up and how that Trinity defense responds, see if they make any adjustments on the first drive. Maybe it'll be the second. You might see a little trick plays out here tonight, maybe testing them out for the playoffs.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for St. James. Fett will work from under center. With Austin Gavin in the backfield, they motion to the near side here. Gavin gets the carry, works left side. Nice spinning move. Close to a first down out near the 30-yard line. Is going to depend on the spot. In fact, they're going to move the chains 10 yards and a first down for St. James on play number 1.
So how about that? Austin Gavin gets it and goes 10 yards on the first play. Nice, simple, follow your blocks and just power your way towards the first down.
We will see St. James huddle up a little bit. They will also go no huddle. And they come out here in the shotgun on 2nd down with 2 receivers spread out to the far side. Fett fakes the handoff, rolls right, throws out here. It's complete to number 4, Wisenhunt. He's going to have positive yardage, and he's close to another first down depending on the spot near the 40-yard line.
Looks like they're just going to give him about 9 yards, and I think you're going to see that a lot from Fett. It's just simple bootlegs and crossers, and make sure you know if it's man, if it's zone, and whether to settle down and keep going. And it looks like there's an injured player.
Yeah, I believe an injured player on the far side there, right in front of the sidelines. We don't have a very high vantage point here, so no signal yet as to whether they're going to get him off the field for the moment, as Trinity's defense is going to come to the near sideline for a moment. But it was Wisenhunt, I believe, who caught the football. It was down. He's up, walking off on his own power, so that's good to see. So to bring up a 2nd down and 1 here for St. James. But a nice job of rolling the pocket there, making a nice, easy throw for Fett.
Yeah, and Fett kind of had to jump up there. He is not a tall guy, so he's going to have to kind of, well, I mean, I guess he might be tall. The defensive lineman out there just really huge.
A lot of shifting here before the snap. They're going to hand this off to number 5, Harrison. Harrison tries to get to the near side. He cannot do it as Coleman Morris is there to slam him down for no gain. And to bring up 3rd down and 1 for St. James.
So not everything works. They tried to get it to the outside. They faked it to Gavin there in the middle, and Harrison just could not. I thought he had an inside lane. He tried to get it to the outside to the perimeter. It didn't work.
I formation on 3rd and 1. They go without a huddle. Fett's going to toss it. Gavin trying to get outside to the right. He's strung out there, and a nice job by the Trinity defense stretching it out. He's not going to have the first down as number 29, Griffin Sanders, comes up and makes some contact there along with number 62, William Chandler. And it's 4th down for St. James. And they're going to bring on the punting team, it looks like. So a nice stand by the Trinity defense to get this game started.
Yeah, and I think Coach Perry knew exactly what he was going to do when he ran that 3rd down play. The whole offense knew the next play if they didn't make it, and that's why you saw that hurry up, and it just turns out it didn't work. Trinity knew the play as well.
Wilson Carter into punt for St. James. Low snap, it bounces back there on a 1 hopper. They get the kick away. And it's going to take a nice roll for St. James, not returnable. They flip the field, and Trinity's going to start out on their own 20-yard line on their first possession. So a nice job by the Trinity defense to stop things there on the 2nd and 3rd down and 1 situations.
And, low snap, I thought Benjamin Hawley, if he would have continued to rush the punter, maybe could have got there, but he stopped as soon as he saw the punter. So maybe a missed opportunity to create a big play early in this game.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 for Trinity, led by quarterback John David Bonner, number 12. going to be a handoff on play number 1, straight ahead up through the middle of the line. Number 17, Tate Holly on the carry for positive yardage, about 4 yards on first down, so we bring up second down and 6. And Trinity's going to go without a huddle here and look to the sideline for their plays. Again, shotgun. They're going to motion by handing back off to Holly. Holly trying to get outside to the right, and they will have none of it as St. James defense is all over it. Number 21, Bennett Blankenship making the tackle for the Trojans. And they'll bring up third down and about 7.
Blankenship read that beautifully, hit the hole immediately, and Holly had no place to go, hit behind the line. Those front 4 eating up those blocks, allowing those linebackers to run free.
So third down and long. Trinity's going to go trips to the far side of the field. Holly offset to the right. Now he's going to motion out of the formation. And it's an empty backfield on 3rd and 7. It's going to be a screen pass complete to number 4, William Roberson. Roberson's going to move forward, but he's going to be stopped short of the first down, and it's going to bring a 4th down in a punting situation for Trinity.
So they went for the little screen pass for Roberson. It didn't really work. St. James played zone and just kept everything in front of him and came up and made the tackle. Screen plays don't really work against zone. You want to try and run them against man and get the pick or the block on the route runner's defender.
So in the punt, looks like number 88 again is Adams. Back deep is number 6. That is Russell for St. James, standing at about his 40-yard line. St. James comes after. The kick is blocked. And it's a loose football recovered by the Trojans. Number 23 getting in there and blocking the kick, Clayton Kraft, with a big special teams play for St. James.
So St. James makes the first big splash play in this game, and they get great field position for their offense. Huge play, get the block, and, man, just think Trinity could have had that if they would have rushed. The momentum switch.
So 7:44 left first quarter. St. James in the red zone, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Fett under center with Austin Gavin. Bunch set to the right. They're going to toss it again. Gavin trying the right side. Cuts this up quickly, but he's stood up after a short gain. Maybe 1, maybe 2 yards on the play, but the Trinity defense makes a nice stand there on first down.
That Trinity defense is playing outstanding right now. They're stopping everything in front of them, keeping and making the tackle on the first initial contact and not allowing Gavin to get to the perimeter or any other ball carrier. That's going to have to try and stretch that defense to see if he can get his running back some running room.
2nd down and 8 from the 13. Shotgun this time. They got motion Sadie to the left. They give it back, or check that. Fett's going to take it himself. And again, the Trinity defense is right there. Short game, maybe 1 on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 7 for St. James.
That was not the play. Fett thought he was going to hand it off to Gavin there, and he freaked out and just ran straight ahead. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get a lot of confusion when you mix up your formations constantly. Sometimes your players get confused, and that's what happens when your players get confused. You have a 3rd and 6 when you probably could have had a 3rd and 2 if you ran the right play on 2nd down.
They have to get down to about the 5-yard line for a first down here. They give it to Gavin, left side, plows forward, driving the legs. He's inside the 5. He's going to be a first down, 1st and goal situation for St. James. So a gain of about 9 on the play, and it's going to be 1st and goal for St. James down at about the 2-yard line.
And just when I said the Trinity defense was tackling on first initial contact, they miss a tackle. Gavin breaks one, and he's able to get the first down on 3rd and 6.
Back to the I formation on 1st and goal as we approach the midway point of the first quarter here at Carlisle Field. Toss to Gavin, left side. Goes forward, maybe gets a yard, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. It's going to be 2nd down and goal for St. James. Nice job by the Trinity defense.
And they continue to try and get to the edge. They continue to go to that left side of that offensive line. That's obviously where they feel comfortable. But the Trinity defense is prepared for it every time.
Quick no huddle here, no huddle on 2nd down. Gavin straight up the middle, driving the legs. The Trinity defense is there, standing in the middle of the line there. Fuller, Johnson, and Birmingham making plays, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and goal from about the 1.5-yard line.
And this might be 4-down territory if Coach Perry is feeling gutsy. It's going to be a big call if they get down to it.
Again, no huddle here, I formation. Quarterback sneak this time. Fett calls his own number. They push the bush push there. They drive the pile forward. No signal. He is not in. He's down inside the 1 yard line from our vantage point, and it's 4th down and goal. Here we're 5 minutes left in the first quarter.
You get the block punt. You get the momentum. Your ball is inside the 20 on the drive. You got to go for it.
It's literally half the football to the end zone. Fett under center again. Looking to the sideline. Now he calls a snap. They give it to Gavin. Gavin tries the right side, and it's a goal line stand by the Trinity defense here. What an impressive stand by the Wildcats.
Wow, they tried to go right up the middle, and it didn't work. I thought Fett was going to try the QB sneak, but when you're going back, it allows the defensive line just a half a second to be able to get some push and get into that backfield and stop the runner. Big play, big stand there after the block punt.
That defense for Trinity, Birmingham, Johnson, Fuller, Chandler up front there as a group making plays in the early going. So now it's 1st and 99 for the Wildcats, but they'll take it. 4:34 left first quarter. We might see another quarterback sneak here the other way. They're going to go shotgun. They're going to go shotgun here from in the end zone. And trying to get out of the end zone. Boy, he stood up close to the goal line. I think the ball did make it out. Not much moving line or momentum for Holly. Bring up 2nd down and about 10.
Man, you got to get some push here at the goal line. You can't allow this to happen. After you get that goal line stand, you at least got to get your room for your punter to flip the field.
And St. James almost playing cover 0. They got everybody up there close to the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 10. 4 minutes left first quarter. They're going to put it up. Going here to the near sideline, trying a long pass. And it's caught and getting it out of the hole there. Complete to number 2, James Handy, making the big reception on the near sideline out close to the 30-yard line.
I love that call. I absolutely love that call. When you're back in a pickle, just throw it up to your trusty wide receiver and give him a chance to go up and make a play. And boy, did he ever. Bonner made a beautiful throw on the sideline. He gave his receiver just enough room to catch it and get his feet in bounds.
Play gain 26, 1st and 10 for the 27. Holly, patient, trying to get outside. He can't. The St. James defense all over him, dropping him for a loss on 1st down. As number 21 making the play, Bennett Blankenship for St. James.
Second time he's made a big play in the backfield tonight. Probably will not be the last as the way this Trinity offensive line is operating. They're going to have to continue to attack at this defense in all types of ways.
2nd and 11. Now Bonner will look to the sidelines for the play call. Under 3.5 left here in the first quarter. 2 receivers to each side, so a traditional spread look here on 2nd and 11. They're going to motion Roberson to the left of the formation. They're going to roll the pocket. Bonner looking. Throws over to the far side. It is complete to number 9, Coleman Ellis, and he's close to a 1st down depending on the spot.
Nice, simple out. Easy completion. Does not have enough for the 1st down, so it'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
3rd and about 2 from the 35. They got to get out to the 37. 3:04 left first quarter. Trinity quickly back to the line of scrimmage again. And now they look to the sideline for the signal. Coach is sending it in here for the Wildcats.
We've seen a lot of big stops on 3rd and shorts and 2nd and shorts, especially the goal line stand. You're going to have to call timeout.
Yeah, play clock's down to 1. They don't recognize it. They snap it late, and we got a timeout here from the near sideline. So we're going to take a timeout with them. No score here from Carlisle Field as you're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number 1 goal. Call Extermatech, 334-209-4590.
And welcome back here to Carlisle Field. Kane Young here with Joseph Sims. We've seen a lot of action already with block punt. We've seen a goal line stand, and we still have 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an eventful game. We've seen a lot of defense, especially short yardage defense, coming up with big stops. Here's another situation of 3rd and 2. See if the St. James defense can continue that trend.
Holly offset to the left of Bonner. Bonner's going to pull it himself to the left side, trying to get the corner. St. James is all over it. It's going to be short of the first down, 4th down in a punting situation again for Trinity.
And again, they're attacking the middle. They're attacking the perimeter. Nothing's working out there. And the only play that seems to have had any effect was when they were in the goal line and they just gave their receiver there a chance, and James Handy went up and made a nice catch.
Preston Berry into punt for Trinity. Back deep is number 6, Zach Russell for St. James. Good snap. Kick is away. High spiral. Russell driven back to the 25. Tries the right sideline, but Trinity is all over it, dropping right at the 26-yard line. So they flip the field here. 2:14 left in this first quarter, and we'll see the St. James offense again, which on the first drive they got a first down, but they were stopped in 2nd and short and 3rd and short and had to punt, and then we saw the goal line stand by Trinity.
And it's all been about the tackling for Trinity. When they get initial contact and they make the tackle, there's nowhere Gavin can go. But when they miss those tackles and they don't gang up on him and don't get 2 or 3 hands on him, he can escape and make big plays for this offense.
Shotgun this time for Drew Fett with Gavin offset to the left. Oh, he fumbles a snap, and he's going to be down right there. He's driven into the ground by the Trinity defense, but he was down with the knee when he recovered the football. As number 35 making the initial contact there, Gray Rutland for Trinity. Lost about 5 in the play, 2nd down and 15.
And I'm not sure what the play was, but even if Fett feels that snap cleanly, Rutland was running free, and it would have been a sack either way.
And back in the shotgun, 2 tight ends here, wingback look also. Going to give to Gavin, working the left side, and Trinity's defense is all over it again, bringing up a 3rd down and long situation, passing situation, as Mace McMillan makes the tackle for the Wildcats.
And I think St. James offense needs to kind of replicate what that Trinity offense did back at the goal line. Just give your receivers a chance to go up and make a play. You got man-on-man on the outside. You can run a slant and go, even if it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, virtually no safeties in the middle of the field here. 3rd down and 13. Fett going to put it up in the air. He's under heavy pressure. Drop behind the line. It is a sack for number 62, William Chandler. And it's 4th down and another punting situation for St. James.
William Chandler has been all over the ball tonight. That is his 3rd tackle for loss already. And that's a big sack there. And that's actually going to gain his offense even more field position, as it's almost like a punting battle at this point.
4th down, back deep to receive the kick is number 25, Thomas Ladner. Carter to punt it for St. James. Better snap this time. Ladner races up. He's going to play it on the hop. Oh, he loses the football. Wisely falls on the back of the 45, but Trinity has gained 44 yards in field position from starting at the 1 last time out to the 45 here, so the defense does its job and flips the field for the Wildcats.
Yeah, defense does its job, and Ladner, the punt returner there, did the wise thing. He had the wise decision to try and stop it. If he doesn't stop that ball could roll for another 15 yards. And like you said, you gained 44 yards in field position, stopping it right there, even though you didn't field it cleanly. And if you do, you might have a chance to make a few extra yards on a return.
Last minute of play here from Carlisle Field in this first quarter. Shotgun, 2 receivers to each side. Bonner going to look to throw. Pump fakes. Throws out here. A nice catch on the near sideline for the Wildcats, close to a 1st down, as it was number 4, Roberson on the reception. In fact, they're going to give him the 1st down. So nice throw and catch there. A little hitch route on the outside.
Yeah, Bonner had to clutch it first. He had pressure in front of him. Wise and Hutt on the defense playing both sides. Jumped up and almost would have deflected it, but Bonner brings it back down and makes a good throw there on the sideline.
Trinity can let the clock run out here. 10 seconds left. The play clock has 17 on it, but they're going to come to the line. On 1st and 10, Roberson goes in motion to the left. Bonner has trouble with the snap, gets it though. Looks left, throws late across the middle here. There's contact. Looks like it's intercepted by St. James on the last play of the first quarter. It was number 44 on the interception for St. James, Paul Woodham. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter here for Carlisle Field with our score, Trinity 0, St. James nothing. An old-fashioned slugfest here after one quarter. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe, located on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. From our great lunch selection and value to our tablecloth and candle evening atmosphere for dinner, La Zona Rosa has something to offer all connoisseurs of fine Mexican dining. Come on down today and enjoy some great Mexican. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown.
And welcome back here to Carlisle Field. Second quarter getting underway, and a quick handoff for a couple yards here on first down. A scoreless first quarter. Our defensive slugfest start out here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network. My name's Kane Young here with Joseph Sims. So a rapidly moving first quarter here. A second down situation for St. James.
Yeah, not a lot of pass plays called, but when they are called, they're not very well executed. And we talked about the scheming for this St. James offense. We really haven't seen that come into play yet, as the Trinity defense is playing outstanding.
I formation, twins to the near side for St. James. Gavin gets it. Boy, he has stood up immediately at the line of scrimmage again. I think it was Chandler making the contact. Going to bring up third down and 5.
Wow, and you get a big play there at the end of the first quarter with an interception, and you had a block punt earlier, and you don't come away with any points. You're creating turnover. You're creating opportunities for your offense. You've got to capitalize.
Third down and 5 for the Trojans. They stay in the I formation, bring two receivers to the near sideline. Play action. Going to throw it out to the back out of the backfield. That's Blankenship making the catch. He's going to move forward and have the first down across the 40 out to the 42-yard line. So a nice throw and catch that time for Fett.
Moves the chains nice and easily, gives yourselves another opportunity to refresh, continue to scheme. One time you're going to catch them off balance, and that's when you got to strike. You got to take advantage of it.
First and 10 at the 42, 10:41 left here till halftime. As this time we get more of a old-school Delaware wing T look out of St. James. I'm going to give it to the up back for a couple yards straight up the middle. And that was Gavin on the carry. He's going to pick up about 2 out to the 44. Bring up 2nd and 8. Clock moving under 10.5 now left till halftime.
And the thing about St. James offense, when they do find something that works, you don't go back to it. You change it and try and trick that defense into thinking you're going to do it again.
This time ace formation, double tight end set under center. They hand it off. Gavin left side. That Trinity defensive line making plays there. Mays McMillan stepping in there along with Birmingham. Bring up third down and about 6.
The problem with what I just said is they haven't found anything that's worked. So they're continuously changing, trying to find something that works, and the Trinity defense is completely compared.
Well, the discipline by the Trinity defense right now, they're lining up to these formations correctly, and the guys are making plays when they're in space at this point and forcing what looks like should be a passing situation here on third down.
No safety.
Fett's going to bootleg here. Throws it out late. Complete to number 27, Sadie, but what a tackle in the open field that time by number 32, Coleman Morris for Trinity. Fourth down and another punting situation.
And that was beautifully executed. They tried to run a little pick play on Morris there and trying to rub off on him to get his man free in the flats, but he got right around it and was able to make the tackle.
Carter on the punt. Back deep is Ladner for Trinity. Carter gets a kick away to the near sideline. Ladner's not going to be able to return it. Takes a nice roll. Now he picks it up at the last second to stop it from advancing further, but they pin him back inside the 20, back at the 14. So a nice kick for Wilson Carter as Trinity loses about 30 yards of field position on the exchange of possessions from last time. They're back on the 14, 8:49 left here in the second quarter.
So the field position battle continues to come about, and St. James has probably won the field position battle. You have a drive inside your own red zone, you get the turnovers, and there's still a goose egg on the scoreboard.
So we'll see what the Wildcats do on offense on this possession. They come with a bunch set to the near side on first down. They got Wilson Holly, the running back, out of the formation. Now we have a whistle.
First flag of the game.
Yeah, first flag. Very clean first quarter. The down marker has already moved back 5 yards, even though we don't have a signal. Maybe not enough men on the line of scrimmage. Nope, they're going to wave it off, so he's going to have to move back. It's still first and 10 for the Wildcats. No time is going off the game clock. Not often see the flag picked up in a procedure situation, but first and 10 again from the 14. They're going to hand it off to Coleman Ellis. Trying to work the right side there. Gets a couple positive yards. That's been out closer to the 20 and bring up second down for Trinity.
And I think when they go back and run this play again, Bonner's got to pull it, and he's got to run it himself. He's had some room on the outsides when he's trying to hand these off, but he's handing them off really, really late, just barely getting into the pocket of these running backs' bellies. So he has a chance to pull it and create some yardage himself.
2nd and 6. Holly in the backfield. They're going to give it to him on a little buck sweep here. He has some room. Spinning his way out, but a nice open field tackle for the St. James defense. Number 4, Alexander Wisenhunt making the plays. We're going to bring up third down in a short 1. 5 yards on the carry that time for Holly.
And that might just be the move for both offenses the way this game is going. Run some power football, get some guards pulling, get some people out in front of your ball carriers and run behind those big, heavy blockers.
7:45 left till halftime. A 2-by-2 look this time for the Wildcats on offense. Holly offset to the right. They're going to motion Ellis to the right of the formation to create a trip set. But they're going to give it to Holly back here to the near side. Holly's going to have the first down. He spins his way out close to the 40-yard line. A nice run for Tate Holly. About 10 yards on the carry and a first down for the Wildcats.
And they're moving nicely, and they're kind of using a little bit of the play out of the St. James book, is running that motion, have some eye candy, and the St. James defense is not as disciplined as the Trinity defense, and they're falling for it.
So first and 10 out here to about the 37-yard line, 38-yard line we'll call it, for the Wildcats. Again, Ellis in motion to the right. Bonner going to look to throw, coming here to the near sideline. And going up, making the catch. Was he inbounds? I got to say no, out of bounds. Number 11, Jake Huffin. High point in the football, but could not get his foot down inbounds. With a nice throw there by John David Bonner.
Yeah, good throw there. He was open, but his receiver's got to do something for his quarterback. He's got to run a route that gives the quarterback room to drop the ball in. If you're running right up the sideline, that gives the quarterback a dime, just a little bit of room to drop a ball in. Receiver didn't help him out there.
Second down, they're going to roll the pocket to the right. Throws late out there. Almost intercepted, breaking on the football for St. James. Number 84, Turner Davis, had a read on it, and it'll bring up third down and 10. Bonner was lucky to get that one back.
Yeah, he almost had his second interception of the game, and it's kind of that same type of play where he's rolling out. He's not as accurate as when he gets his feet set as when he's rolling out. He doesn't have that ability like some do nowadays. So you got to, and even when he does drop back, he's had some pressure in front of him, so you got to look to get your quarterback some room to throw.
Third and 10. Ellis goes in motion to the right. Bonner's going to look to throw. He's throwing over the middle here, looking for number 11. There's a lot of contact. I don't see a flag. Crowd wants a holding penalty, probably rightfully so. He was looking for number 11, Huffman, on the slow go. It goes incomplete, but there's a lot of contact there near midfield.
Yeah, and Bonner took a huge shot as he delivered the ball, and like I said, Hoffman got held there by the collar. He was arguing for it. The fans are holler for it, and it was just one of those plays. Jonathan Harris is going to be lucky that he walks away without a penalized situation.
Barry on the punt. Back deep is Russell at about his own 30-yard line. High kick, not a lot of distance, though. Goes off the side of the foot to the right. unable to flip the field here. It's going to drop at about the 35-yard line for St. James. So 6:21 left till halftime. Still scoreless here from Carlisle Field. If you're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week, the St. James offense comes back out here again, starting on their own 35-yard line. So we've seen some running, some success for both teams, but then things kind of stall out. I just feel like a lot of body shots right now. No big knockout punches here in the early going.
Yeah, and I think some of this is going to go on the offensive line for not opening up some holes, but you got to get Drew Fett an opportunity to create some plays with his arm. He hasn't had a lot of time, but he hasn't had a lot of opportunity either.
Here's a handoff to Gavin, right side. Picks up about 5 out to the 40. A nice first down run for the senior running back who came into this game with 1,268 yards, averaging 7 yards a carry during the season. That's obviously now he's not been in that neighborhood here to start out with. So 2nd and 5 midway through the second quarter.
If they get the ball on the perimeter through the air, again, it's man on man, no free safety. You can run a sluggo yourself and get a man deep for your downfield.
The motion Sadie to the left here. They give it to Gavin on the left. He lowers the shoulder. Man, he is driven back there after maybe a yard or two, and that's it. Mays McMillan leading the way there for that St. James defense, along with Robert Birmingham, and that was 3rd down and about 3.
And again, I know you want to get the ball to your playmaker, Austin Gavin, but you've got to try something different. It's obviously not working. You've got to adjust to what the defense is giving you. And right now, that's saying throw it to the outside. Trust your quarterback. He's been clean with the football all year.
Handoff again. Gavin left side. He's hit. He's going to be stopped short of the line to gain. And this Trinity defense making a stand here. So interesting, we saw Trinity go 3 straight passes incomplete. We see St. James go 3 straight runs here, and they come up short of the line to gain. But again, another punting situation for St. James.
And it's turning into a punting battle here in this first half. And St. James has won that battle, but again, they can't capitalize. They've had the field position, just not the opportunity to elaborate on it.
4.5 left here as Carter in the punt. Ladner back at his own 20-yard line. Carter's kick is away. Ladner gets underneath this one. He's going to try to return it, but he is dropped there quickly by number 4, Alexander Wisenhut. Good coverage by St. James. So 4:20 left till halftime. Trinity's going to start out here on the 30-yard line. Keep in mind, Trinity will get the football to start the second half as they deferred the opening toss. So this could turn out to be a big possession, and both teams have good kickers. They only got to get to about the 30-yard line probably to attempt a field goal to this point, but neither of the teams have really been able to do it other than on the block punt for St. James. They empty here the Holly right side. Not much happening there as this St. James defense is all over it again. Looked like Wisenhunt and Blankenship in on the tackle, bring up 2nd down and long.
And they're continuously trying to get those blockers out in front of their ball carriers, and they're not. You might want to look to run a reverse or a trick play, see if something works.
Roll the pocket to the near side here, throwing out here. Huffman makes the grab. He's hit out of bounds. He's got to get his foot down there. He's close to the line of the game, probably a little short, but a nice job by Huffman, Jake Huffman, to hang on to the football.
Yeah, did a really good job of getting his feet in bounds and being able to hang on to that football. Took a big hit there. And that has been the offense. Roll out and throw it to your man Hoffman on the outside.
3rd down and 1 from the 39 for the Wildcats. Bonner's going to roll. He's going to look to throw here. Throws it late. It is knocked down and almost intercepted. St. James was all over. It was a little 2-man route to the far side. 4th down and 1 in a decision time here for Coach Loyal. Almost think by passing the ball there, they might go for it on 4th down, but it looks like the punt team is coming back out.
Bonner wants that one back. James Handy was deep. He was running just straight up the field. Bonner probably didn't have enough arm strength to get it down there, but James is thinking, man, I got free. I was loose. That would have been a nice, easy touchdown. Instead, he almost threw his third interception of the game. He had the one at the end of the first quarter. Then he almost threw another one. So he only got one, but that could have been 3. You're just counting those up for the St. James defense.
Barry's kick is away. Beautiful kick sailing through the night sky. And Russell's going to make a fair catch inside his 20-yard line. Best kick of the night for Barry. Flipping the field here. 3:29 left here in the first half. And St. James is going to start out on their own 19-yard line. I almost feel like the defensive coordinators are in the huddle here for the offenses right now. They both have, these teams know each other very well. They know what they're going to do. It is going to be tough to score, it looks like, at this point.
And it's almost, again, St. James had the ball inside their own 1. They opted to go for it. I thought it was a good decision at that time early in the game.
Yeah, you got to go for it. You got a 4th of inches. You got to go for it.
Hindsight's 20/20, but if you kick a field goal,
you don't need a
you're up
17-yard field goal. But here's a handoff, a speed sweep here for St. James, and then going nowhere. Number 2, Ethan Beard dropped behind the line. This Trinity defense, very disciplined. They stay at home. They read their keys. And when they get in open field, they're a very short tackling team. We saw this against Alabama Christian early in the season.
Man, they're playing fundamental football out there on defense. And it's man-on-man on the outside every single time. And I'm just waiting for Fett to see that and say, hey, I'm going to take this shot. And he has not yet. He has yet to go.
2nd and 13 for St. James. Bunch formation here to the near side. That's going to hand off to, this time looks like Gavin trying the right side of the line. Not much happening there. Picked up a couple. Going to bring up 3rd down and about 12. 2.5 left at halftime. Both teams, I believe, still have 3 timeouts left. You might see Trinity here if they get a stop, try to stop the clock and get a score before the half.
Right, and you mentioned it earlier. Trinity gets the ball back at the start of the 3rd quarter. So a score before halftime could potentially, and a score on the first drive of the 3rd quarter puts this game into a 2-possession game, which the way this one's looking would almost be like a 3-possession game in any other game.
3rd and 12. Ball is loose on the ground. They're going to fall on top of it. And there's the timeout taken by Trinity to stop the clock with 1:55 left in the first half. So we'll take it with a no score here from Carlisle Field. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week.
If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
And welcome back to Carlisle Field. A scoreless slugfest. Kane Young here with Joseph Sims. And Joseph, big part of the game here. I know you watch the CBS games every Saturday. This is Gary Danielson's favorite part of the game, as you just mentioned. Trinity going to get the ball back, and they're going to get the ball back to start the second half.
This is it. And if they want to, they need to actually rush the punter. Each and every time St. James has punted the football, they've got to pull it up a little bit. If they bring it all right here, you could make even a touchdown right before half here.
Carter to punt it away. They come after it. Ladner chasing after it on the far side. He dives for the ball. It's a fumble on the ground. And I think, fortunately for Ladner, it goes out of bounds. We saw Ladner make a big punt return last year in the game against ACA. But Trinity gets great field possession here, starting at the St. James 47-yard line.
Wizen Hunt had a chance at the football as it was going out of bounds, and if he could have got that, that would have been huge for St. James.
So 1st and 10, 1:46 left. I believe 1 timeout left here for Trinity in the first half.
Only 1 timeout for him. 1:46. You've got to be able to use the sideline, and St. James recognizes that.
They drop back on coverage this time. Bonner's going to roll here near side. Fakes to Huffman. It's a stop and go. He's looking for Huffman down the left sideline here. He's behind the defense. Huffman dives on the last second, and he come down with it. Yes, he did. No signal yet. They're going to say incomplete. Incomplete. Looked like you had it for a second down at the 10-yard line. A little hesitation there on the official on the near side to make the call, so it goes incomplete. Clock stopped at 1:36 till halftime, but a nice throw by Bonner.
No replay in high school. A little better acting there from Hoffman, and maybe keep the ball in front of you, away from the official's point of view, and you might have yourself a catch there.
So 2nd and 10 at the 47. They're going to empty the backfield here. Low snap. Bonner has to corral it. He's going to take off and run, though, and make something out of nothing. He's going to have a first down inside the 35-yard line down to the 34. 13 yards of the first down for Trinity.
Clock's going to continue to, or it's going to stop for the first down, but it will start eventually when they get the ball set, so they're going to have to hurry up
the
here.
St. James player lost his helmet, so he gets a few extra seconds here. They're quickly back to the line. Empty set. Bonner going to look to throw. Goes over the middle late, and it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by number 44, Paul Woodham again for St. James. Looked like Bonner threw the ball late there over the middle, and Woodham was on the spot again.
Oh, he threw it late, and he did not have enough arm strength to make that throw from the get-go. If he waits maybe a second, and maybe that's why you're not seeing a lot of downfield shots. He had time in the pocket. He could have taken off and ran with it. They didn't have a spy on him. He could have checked it down to his check down in the flat, so it was open. Instead, he's going to go for the post, go for the big play, got the momentum. Didn't have the arm strength for it.
So a big stand by the St. James defense, 1:16 till halftime. They come out with that wing tee set again. Gavin gets it, works the left side, has a nice run there for some positive yards across the 20 out near the 25. In fact, he's going to get about 8 yards on first down for the senior running back for St. James. And the Trojans are in no hurry here. Trinity really can't get the ball back under a minute to play.
And I don't think they have any problem going into halftime 0-0.
Getting back to the wing tee look. Gavin gets it, tries to get outside here to the near side. It's strung out. It's going to be a first down, though, for St. James. Clock will stop for the moment with 37 seconds till halftime. So 1st and 10 at the 34. Clock is running again. St. James in no hurry. As Joseph just pointed out, they might get one more playoff here at this rate. Let's see if they take a shot downfield. In fact, it looked like Gavin went out of the game there. Going to hand this off to number 44, Woodham. Picks up about 6 yards on the carry.
Woodham's had himself a half. Two interceptions. Now he's getting a little ball. I just said he's had himself a half. He's getting up slow there.
Landing on the football. But that's going to take us to 0-0s. And a defensive slugfest here between two longtime rivals. Trinity, nothing. St. James, nothing. From Carlisle Field at halftime, you're watching the Sturman Tech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. We'll take a moment, get a word from our sponsors, come back, talk about statistics and so forth here at the half. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks Incorporated is a locally owned and operated business in Montgomery, Alabama. And we've been in business since 1985 and served Montgomery and the surrounding counties with burglar bars, ironworks. Our philosophy is being honest, dependable, and treating each customer with respect and selling a quality product at a fair price. If you need burglar bars or ironwork of any kind, call Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks, Montgomery. Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was reelected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
97.9 Jams, the new home of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Hey, what up? This your boy Ricky Smiley from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show on my new home, Montgomery, the Gump. ASU, what's up?
Throwback Quickie Mix at noon, the live drive at 5, and top 5 at 9. Your favorite jams are on now. Drake, Rihanna, T.I., Nicki Minaj, Chris Brown, and Beyonce are all at 979jams.com and on your radio at 97.9. Tune in and turn up. 97.9 Jams.
La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe, located on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. From our great lunch selection and value to our tablecloth and candle evening atmosphere for dinner, La Zona Rosa has something to offer all connoisseurs of fine Mexican dining. Come on down today and enjoy some great Mexican. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown.
And welcome back. Halftime here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network. No score here at the half. St. James and Trinity. Slugfest. Defense is in control here, Joseph, in the first half.
Yeah, and it's if you're a defensive guy, you're going to love this game as it's 0-0, and I am myself a defensive guy. I love to see defense. I love to see big hits, and I love to see defensive execute from what the offense is giving them. And from looking at Trinity, our keys of the game was they can't look at the eye candy. They have to know the formation, and they've done exactly that. And they've made the tackle, and that's the hardest part. You can know where the ball is going. You can know who has the football, but if you can't make the tackle, there's no point in all that.
Yeah, defensive struggle here. A couple turnovers in the first half. Block punt, goal line stand. Seen a little bit of everything here, but we have not seen any score. But we'll see what happens here with the second half. Still have 24 minutes of football left. So let's take a moment here on the Montgomery Sports Network to thank our sponsors once again here at the half. We thank our title sponsor again this year, Extermatech Pest Control. They are locally owned and operated. Extermatech is a small, passionate, and powerful team. They are voted the best in Montgomery. If you have bugs bugging you, call Extermatech. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Call Extermatech at 334-209-4590. We also thank attorney Matt Matthews of ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com. Workers' compensation attorney Matt Matthews has many years of experience litigating workers' compensation cases in Alabama. If you are hurt on the job, he can help you get the benefits you deserve. Visit ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com or call 334-721-4878. We also give a thank you to the Hank Williams Museum. The 6,000 square foot museum is located at 118 Commerce Street in downtown Montgomery. You can take a step back in time and learn about the musical history and life of a Montgomery man who is known as the legendary singer and songwriter Hank Williams. Browse the large gift shop. Groups are always welcome at the Hank Williams Museum. We also say thank you to Chris's Famous Hot Dogs, which is celebrating its 102nd year in business in the capital city. Chris's is located just a few steps from the state capitol at 138 Dexter Avenue. Chris's also caters. Have Chris's Hot Dogs at your next meeting or event. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition. Call orders in advance at 334-265-6850. And here is Joseph with the rest of our sponsors.
We'd like to thank Midstate Burglar Bars and Ironworks. Midstate Burglar Bars and Ironworks is a local owned and operated business. They've been in business since 1985 and serve Montgomery and the surrounding counties. Midstate builds and installs burglar bars, AC guards, hand railings, fencing, storm doors, and more. Make sure to check out their decorative handrails, a true work of art. Call Midstate at 334-313-9015. And La Zona Rosa Mexican Cafe, located at 2838 Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. Check out their great build-your-own lunch and dinner selections and updated menus. Make La Zona Rosa your choice for authentic Tex-Mex and Salvadorian cuisines. Open Monday through Saturday. Call 334-274-1153. And Delta Printing and Sign Company. Delta Printing and Sign Company opened in 1979 and is still local and family-owned. As a second-generation business, they have stayed true to their roots, they get to know their customers, and they take pride in helping meet their printing needs and stay within their budget. Their goal is the same as it was when they first opened, to provide a quality product at a competitive price, accompanied with exceptional customer service. So remember, no matter what it is, when you need signs, printing, direct mail, let Delta do it. Call 334-271-COPY. And our media partner, the stations of Blue Water Broadcasting. News Talk 93.1, KISS FM 97.9 Jams, Bama Country 98.9, Yo 100.5, Classic Country The Possum, 104.9 The Gump, and 107.1 The Vault. They are local folks helping local businesses. Call them today and let them help your business at 334-244-0961.
And we also say thank you to Mac the Camera Guy Photo Booths. Visit MacTheCameraGuy.com for all your photo booth needs for corporate events, weddings, proms, birthday parties. He will hook you up. Visit MacTheCameraGuy.com. We thank all of our sponsors here on the Montgomery Sports Network during this 2019 season. We could not do it without them. When you go see them this week, tell them we sent you from the Montgomery Sports Network, as they have helped bring high school football to you each and every Friday night during this 2019 season. So we're about halfway through the intermission period. We're going to take another quick time out, come back and get stats in just a moment. Reminder, you're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company, and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermatech, 334-209-4590. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe.
was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was reelected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride? No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom. Dude, are you okay? I am definitely buzzed. Yeah. I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
97.9 Jams, the new home of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Hey, what up? This is your boy Ricky Smiley from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show on my new home, Montgomery, the Gump. ASU, what's up?
Throwback Quickie Mix at noon, the live drive at 5, and top 5 at 9. Your favorite jams are on now. Drake, Rihanna, T.I., Nicki Minaj, Chris Brown, and Beyonce are all at 979jams.com. And on your radio at 97.9. Tune in and turn up. 97.9 Jams.
La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe, located on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. From our great lunch selection and value to our tablecloth and candle evening atmosphere for dinner, La Zona Rosa has something to offer all connoisseurs of fine Mexican dining. Come on down today and enjoy some great Mexican. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome back to Carlisle Field here in East Montgomery as the 44th meeting between Trinity and St. James is scoreless here at the half. A defensive struggle. We saw a block punt. We saw a couple turnovers. We saw a goal line stand. We have not seen a touchdown or even a field goal attempt at this point, Joseph, but very good defense by both these teams, and offensive coordinators are going to have to earn their paycheck here at halftime to find a way to get the ball into the end zone.
Yeah, and there's been a few opportunities specifically for that Trinity offense, and they've had some players running deep, but Bonner doesn't have the arm strength that we've seen in the past from some quarterbacks, and he's missed a few. He's had some off targets. I don't understand their game plan coming in. They've tried to get him out to the perimeter and maybe get him out to side and running and throwing the football, but I don't think that's his style. I think he'd rather dink and dunk until it's really just wide open and then hit it, and he's accurate when you give him a chance, but he hasn't had much of a chance so far in this game.
So we'll take a look at our halftime stats here between Trinity and St. James, and Joseph will let you handle those stats for us.
So for Trinity, their rushing attack is obviously better than their passing. They're at 61 yards, and that is really just all about them breaking tackles, and then for their passing attack, it was all that big gain on first and second down with 28 yards, 6 first downs, And 3 turnovers, that's the major part. They've turned the ball over 3 times, but still allowed St. James to have a big goose egg on the scoreboard. And for St. James, their passing is 27 yards, and they're rushing 45. Also 6 first downs, 0 in the turnover margin. So that is where they'll want to keep that, as Fett still doesn't have an interception on the year.
Yeah, and the golden opportunity here for St. James in the first half. They got the block punt, recovered the ball in the red zone, picked up a first down, had first and goal from about the 2. But the Trinity defense made play after play after play there in the short yardage. Had 4th down and about a half yard to go. I think it was the right decision by Coach Perry them to go for it, especially that early in the game. But let's give credit to the Wildcat defense. They stepped up and made a play.
Yeah, and I would go for it again in that situation, but he's got to be thinking, if I would have just taken the field goal. Of course, hindsight's 20/20, but that defense, they're doing exactly what we said at the beginning, recognizing the formation and then staying where you're supposed to be, and it's working out for them.
And for the St. James defense, we've seen Woodham have a couple of interceptions. Trinity's moved the ball a couple times on offense. They really looked like they had something going there before the half. Then the interception bug showed up there with Woodham stepping in front of the pass late in the first half. Wildcats going to get the ball here to start the second half. Holly's been effective a couple times on the runs, but really it's been the passing game. There's been some opportunities there with Huffman and deep balls. He came up with the one on the sideline. He's been behind the secondary a couple times. They just have not been able to connect on the deep passes.
Yeah, and he's been open also a few times, and they haven't hit him. Bonner having a little bit of a difficult time reading the defense and finding out who is open. Tate Holly's been their main runner, and he's done a really good job getting the ball and finding the lane, but sometimes there's just no lanes to run, and when you're a runner and got the ball and you ain't got nowhere to go, that's not what you want to do.
And for on offense for St. James, we've seen a steady dose of Gavin, the running back, in the first half. Passing game, not a whole lot there out of Fett here in the early going. They rolled the pocket a few times, hit a couple of first down passes, but for the most part, Trinity's linebackers and secondary have been on those receivers pretty quickly.
And we talked about how they're going to mix up their formations and really try and confuse that defense. They haven't. It's been pretty consistent of what their game plan was, and that was to come in here and run the ball with Austin Gavin. That obviously isn't working. They haven't been able to move the ball as well. They've had opportunities at the goal line. They've had 3 turnovers in this game and haven't been able to capitalize on any of them. And I think you're going to see Drew Fett come out here and run a totally different offense. He's got to get the ball deep downfield. He hasn't taken a deep shot yet.
Both teams heading on out of the locker room here, which is a minute or so from kickoff here at St. James Carlisle Field. Remind you, you're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. Playoffs start for next week for these teams. Both teams will have a home game to start out in Week 1 as they both finish second in the region. We said this is the 44th meeting between these teams. Trinity leads the series 33-10, but St. James has won 3 in a row. So we already hit on this in the pregame, but for these Trinity seniors, there is a lot of motivation to get that win here. They don't want to go winless against St. James for their career.
No, they really don't, especially after all of those Trinity people in front of them. They're like, we beat them 30 times in a row and 33 times in a row, and y'all are out here, y'all have lost 3 times in a row. Y'all aren't carrying the legacy.
And for St. James here and Coach Perry trying to go 9-1, an impressive regular season. The only loss was to Pike Road, so they finished second to Pike Road. Trinity finished second to Montgomery Catholic in region play, so both these teams will be at home next week as the playoffs get underway here for the 2019 season. So remind you can visit our website, mymgmsports.com. You can go there and find all the games that are archived and replays and highlights there. You can also go to YouTube and search us, Montgomery Sports Network, as you can find the past games from last year and this year during the 2019 season. And you can follow us on Twitter at MyMGMSports. Same for Instagram. You can also go to Facebook and like us on there, as we have posts throughout the weeks and throughout the season. We appreciate everybody with their viewership this year, tuning into our games. We appreciate you patronizing our sponsors each and every week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. It's been a good 2019 season. It's been a hot 2019 season, but the temperatures turned cold. If I was an entrepreneurial student at St. James, I think I'd be going over there, walking through the sandstones, selling some hot chocolate. They can make a good dime here tonight, Joseph.
They really could, but, man, I would be out there looking for some nachos, some hot cheese, sit down, enjoy a nice slugfest.
So just about a minute from kickoff here in the second half. The kicking game, we've seen the punters flip field position. Neither team's been able to take advantage of it when they have gotten the field position.
I was about to say, when you have a slugfest like this, you got 0-0, you get odd MVPs for the first half, like some punters, and they're doing a good job. You've seen some field position flip with Preston Berry. He's got the big leg, had one go off the side of his foot, but he's out there kicking the ball far, and that's going to be a weapon in the second half that they'll look to continue to use.
And Wilson Carter on the other side for St. James. So the punters getting a lot of pub tonight. We have some games where we never see the punters get on the field. It's all scores or turnovers, but nothing here at the half. St. James already to the sideline. Trinity making the way here to the near sideline. We'll get this second half started off. Trinity will receive the kickoff here in the third quarter. We saw them put the ball into the end zone. The Wildcats did on the opening kick, so we'll see if St. James can do the same. They have an excellent kicker. But 24 minutes of football left here from Carlisle Field.
You got to know Trinity head coach Barry Loyal has got to be proud of his team for not only fighting, but they've overcome 3 turnovers. The score is 0-0. This is a brand-new football game, even though you've turned over the ball 3 times, 2 interceptions from the quarterback and a blocked punt.
So Trinity will get this football here. We'll see what any adjustments these offenses made at the half. As kicking off will be Jan Walkowitz for St. James. And heading back deep will be a trio, number 3, Mac McClinton, number 14, Jaquarius Times, and number 9, Coleman Ellis for the Wildcats. And these Trinity students off to their left, they've been pumped this whole game. They've been making a lot of noise. Of course, they bring their own boombox to the game, so that helps out sometimes. But guys dancing, trying to stay warm here in this cold weather.
It's almost like it's their home game tonight.
Trinity's just located about 2-3 miles away from here, just down towards the Eastern Bypass. Short kick is taken by McClinton, trying to get outside here. Nice return out across the 35-yard line. Big hit there. The kicker in on the tackle, Walkowitz, along with number 3, McClinton. But bring up 1st and 10 from about almost to the 40-yard line. Nice return for Trinity.
And if they're going to come out here and change their offense, it's been Holly on the running game. If Bonner wants to get the passing game going, he has got to have a little more time in the pocket, and he's got to be able to know where he's going to go with the football before the snap. He hasn't been able to do that all game.
So a little bit of different formation here. Blocking back in there this time. They're going to hand off to Holly. He's going to work over right guard, spinning his way. There comes a flag in. That's one thing we did not see in the first half was penalties. We only had 1 penalty in the game. Looks like we got holding. Oh, take that. Personal foul called against St. James. Must have had to be hands to a face or a face mask. The officials face the other side. We were on the visitor's side here at Carlisle Field, so he's facing the press box on the signal. So that's going to be a free first down for Trinity. In fact, they're going to march this into St. James territory.
Wow.
All the way down to the 46-yard line. So a personal foul against St. James. It was during the play. I'm going to assume it was a face mask. That's what it was. Face mask on St. James on the tackle on Holly. So Holly picked up positive yardage. First down here for Trinity. Bonner going to throw. Huffman makes the catch out here on the near side. Spins out of a tackle. And he's going to be close to a first down near the 35-yard line.
Bonner knew where he was going to go before. It was perfect. He had the chemistry with Huffman. He threw it before Huffman turned around, and Huffman turned around and made a great catch.
So Jake Huffman makes the catch, 1st and 10 at the 35. We're in the first minute of this third quarter, and Trinity quickly has moved into St. James territory.
Bonner, when he does throw, he throws through the short side of the field to make it a nice, quick, easy read.
Ellis in motion. Oh, trouble with the snap. Bonner's going to pick it up, throws it out there late, and a big hit out there for St. James in the open field. Nice tackle there on the far side. I believe that was number 27, Sadie, making the play for the Trojans. They're going to lose about 9 yards on the play.
You can't do that. You cannot do that if you're Bonner. The play was roll out to your right, come back to Huffman. That's where your blockers were. It was going to be a comeback play. You saw the sideline as soon as he threw it out there, put his receiver in a situation. There's nobody out there blocking. He's going to get lit up every single time.
Lucky wasn't picked off. Trouble with the snap, though. Here it is 2nd down and 19 from the 44. A 2-by-2 look this time for Trinity. Bonner's going to put it up in the air. Throws on the far sideline there. A nice catch stretching out, making the grab is number 4, William Roberson. So he's going to pick up the lost yardage there and then some, bringing up a 3rd down and manageable for Trinity.
Yeah, and that's a big play. After that big loss on 1st down, brings up the 3rd and manageable that really enables you to run whatever you want. You can run the football. Of course, they've been utilizing the comeback and the screen game so far, so we'll see what they do now.
Last play, gained 11, 3rd and 8. Roll to the near side here. Bonner's in some trouble. Can't find anybody. Cuts back. Throws it late across the middle there. And now finds Huffam for the 1st down. What a throw and an ad-lib play there by John David Bonner.
That was beautiful. That's something he hasn't done all game. When he rolls out and when you have a rollout quarterback, it limits what you can do on the outside. And this time he's able to come back and then extend the play, and it allows for the 1st down.
So Jake Huffam with the grab. 1st and 10 at the 17 for the Wildcats. Handoff, Holly coming back here to the left. This play's worked a couple times. Holly's loose, driving forward down near the 10-yard line. He's going to pick up 8 yards on the play down to the 9 on 1st down for Tate Holly.
So we saw no offense almost at all in the first half, and Trinity on the first drive of the 3rd quarter comes out blazing, throwing the football, running the football, and now they're inside the red zone. They got to capitalize. It's the first time they've been inside the red zone all night.
2nd and 2 at the 9-yard line. Under 9 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. They're going to roll the pocket right. They're going to throw it back over here. Huffman goes off his hands. He would have had the 1st down. He might have scored on that play.
There was the same play where he bobbled the snap earlier. They come back to it when they get the same look. And like I said, he had the end zone if he makes that catch or it's a lower throw.
The Trinity offensive line out there trying to lead the way. They had looked like they had a hat on a hat. Bring up 3rd and 2. 8:41 left. The clock stopped for the moment.
If they perhaps do not get this, Coach Lowell will kick the field goal.
Holly will step to the left of the formation now. Twins receivers each side. Bonner's going to take it himself. Has the 1st down. Bonner dives towards the end zone. It's going to be depending on the spot. They're going to mark him down short of the goal line, but it's going to be 1st and goal for Trinity.
Bonner makes the big run, and I said in the first half he just pull it. He has running room on the outside. That's the first time he's pulled it tonight. Almost got into the end zone.
Play gains 8 yards down to the 1. They bring the heavy set in here. Bonner with Holly. They bring on some extra linemen in here into the formation. Holly gets it, tries the right side. He's hit, he spins, he's in for the touchdown for the Wildcats. Tate Holly for 1 yard out.
First touchdown of the night, first score of the night, and it's Tate Holly.
So a nice drive by the Wildcats, opening the 2nd half, 65 yards. And they lead us 6-0. We'll get the extra point attempt here for the Wildcats. Number 88 is going to kick it. That is Luke Adams. High snap, they get it down. Kick is up, plenty of distance, and it is good. Our new score here in the 3rd quarter, Trinity 7, St. James nothing. We're going to take a quick timeout. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590.
And we're back here at Carlisle Field. Trinity with an impressive drive to start this 3rd quarter to get the first points of the night, Joseph.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful executed drive. They mixed up their play calls perfectly. They started off with Tate Holly on the ground. Then it was all Bonner through the rest of the way. And after that face mask call that got them the 1st down on the first set of drives, basically that sparked that whole offense for that whole drive.
And apparently there was a penalty on the extra point against St. James. 15 yards. So Trinity's going to kick off from the St. James 45. They can easily put this into the end zone if they choose to do so. Could also lead to a potential onside kick and not get hurt on field position at all, as Luke Adams will kick it off for Trinity. He's just going to boot this one in the end zone, straight through the uprights, and it's good. So the St. James will start out on the 20-yard line, and they're going to have to go 80 yards here to try to answer the score.
And we'll see what type of offense adjustments they have. We saw what Trinity had, and it worked to perfection. St. James is going to have to answer now.
So all the momentum at the moment here on the side of the Wildcats. 1st and 10 for St. James. They'll start out on their own 20-yard line.
I expect Drew Fett to start throwing the ball a little more and kind of get away from that running game that hasn't really been popping.
I formation. Gavin dots the I. They're going to give it to him, work that left side, and not much happening there as that Trinity defense is all over him, bringing up 2nd and long.
At least go into shotgun, run an RPO. You got one-on-one on the outside. You got no safety. Well, they're going to drop one out now. Obviously, it's 2nd and 10, so it's a typical passing situation now. But when you have the opportunity, you've got to take it.
Blankenship, the fullback here on 2nd down and 9. They're going to play action, look to throw. He's looking here for Beard, going deep. Beard makes the grab, and he's loose. Ethan Beard, it's a foot race inside the 20. Finally dropped down to the 15-yard line by number 25, Thomas Ladner, but a big play for St. James. They go deep and they connect.
It's about time they take the one-on-one opportunity. Jaquarius Times was one-on-one with Beard, and Beard just beats him in the foot race, and when he initially catches it, he doesn't go down and continues to run. And it was a great throw from Drew Fett.
So 64 yards at a 1st down for St. James. So fireworks here to start the 3rd quarter. They'll be 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. 7:25 left 3rd quarter. Clock should be running. I don't know why it stopped. Wing T set this time for St. James. They're going to give it to the upback. That is 44, Paul Woodham. Moves across the 15 down to about the 12, bring up 2nd down and about 7.
Now, St. James has been in this position before, having great field position, getting inside the red zone and not scoring. You can't have that right here. You've got to answer Trinity's score.
2nd and 7. 7 minutes left here, 3rd quarter from Carlisle Field. Kane Young here with Joseph Sims in this long rivalry between St. James and Trinity. They give it to Woodham left side. He lowers the shoulder. Moves inside the 10 to about the 6, bringing up a 3rd down and short.
It looks like there's a Trinity player injured.
And a player for St. James lost their helmet. So good sportsmanship there by St. James to go check on the player. We're going to take a quick timeout, see if we can identify who that is. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
And welcome back here to Carlisle Field. And the injured player, Mace McMillan, I believe, for Trinity. He's one of the main big defensive players for the Wildcats, being helped off the field here. So hopefully he can return. Senior linebacker has been a stud for them all season long throughout his career for the Wildcats.
With that linebacker out, we'll see if Austin Gavin can attack now. McMillan's been making some plays in the backfield, so Gavin might have an opportunity to bust one here close to the goal line.
3rd and short, they're back in the eye here from the 6-yard line. Fett's still calling the signals. Toss to Gavin. He tries the right side, cuts it up, spinning. He's going to have the first down inside the 5 down to about the 2-yard line, so it's going to be first and goal here for St. James.
Gavin, they go right back to him.
They're going to go without a huddle, it looks like.
Not a lot of running room.
So first and goal for St. James. Trinity had the goal line stand early in the game. Gavin gets it left side there. He's dropped for a loss behind the line that time. Thomas Ladner stepping in there, making the initial contact for the Wildcats.
You can't run behind your left tackle and not block Thomas Ladner. And he makes another big play. That's the second time that they haven't blocked him, and the second time he's made a big tackle in the backfield.
Play going to lose a yard back to the 3. Second and goal. Vet's still calling the signal. Play clock has 10 on it. Play action pass is going to throw it out there to his fullback, has him wide open. He's going to be in for the touchdown. That's number 21, Bennett Blankenship on the throwing catch.
So that's the second time on this drive that they utilized the play action, and it's the second time that it works to their benefit. This time Blankenship open in the flats, beautiful throw, nice easy pitch and catch, responds to the Trinity score.
John Walkowitz in to attempt the extra point to try to even things up. Zach Russell is the holder for the Trojans. But a nice answer by St. James to the Trinity score. Good snap and spot. Kicks up, has plenty of distance. And we are tied again at 7. We're going to take a quick timeout. 7-all here for Carlisle Field between St. James and Trinity. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590.
And welcome back to Carlisle Field here. Kane Young with Joseph Sims. We saw no scoring in the first half, but obviously the offenses have made some adjustments here to start this third quarter.
Yeah, back-to-back scoring drives from both teams to open up the third quarter. And they, like I said, offensive adjustments, and it's been the QBs that's made the adjustments. The play-action pass for St. James and Bonner being able to complete those or extend those plays to the outside and kind of create on his own.
So Walkowitz will kick it off after he just tied the game with the extra point. Back deep is McClinton for Trinity. And this one's going to go over towards Ellis on the far side. He fumbles it, and it's going to go out of bounds. A big break for St. James as Trinity's going to be pinned back near the 10-yard line.
Wow. So another field position has been a huge part of this whole football game, including the first half and into the third quarter. So Trinity's going to come out for their second drive and have bad field position for the first time.
So it'll be first and 10. The ball officially out of bounds at the 11. 5:29 left here, third quarter. As Trinity comes out, and Uncle Mo has shifted towards the St. James sideline for the moment. Holly in the backfield still. They're going to put it up in the air, though. Oh, it's deflected and intercepted. It is going to be a pick six, intercepted by number 27, Andrew Sadie, for St. James as they take the lead for the first time tonight.
Well, it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and Andrew Sadie took advantage of it. And I think even if it isn't tipped, Andrew Sadie intercepts that pass. He read it all the way. It was a screen back to Hoffman. And that's what they executed on the first drive of the third quarter. It does not work here. Defense reads it beautifully and puts them on the board for a second time in this half.
So on for the extra point here, Walkowitz. What a turn of events here early in or midway through the third quarter. The non-offensive touchdown for St. James. Good snap and spot. Kick is up, plenty of distance, and it is good. So our new score, 5:21 left third quarter. It is St. James 14, Trinity 7. We'll keep it right here. But I'm with you, Joseph. I think they looked like they were playing zone that time. Sadie just kind of dropped back naturally into his position. He was all over the football.
Yeah, and that's Bonner's third interception of the game. He can't let that get to him. Fourth turnover of the game for the Wildcats. And unlike the first half, when they committed turnovers, it wasn't a big deal because they stopped them. This was a turnover, and they had no chance to stop him. Andrew Sadie walked into the end zone.
So St. James leads at 14-7. So 21 points here scored in the first 6.5 minutes of the third quarter after we were scoreless at halftime here on the Exterminatek Pest Control Game of the Week. So St. James defense giving them the lead, trying to go 9-1 here on the regular season. Trinity comes in here with a record of 6-3. Both teams will be home next week for the playoffs as they start in the Class 3A for St. James and Class 4A for Trinity. Walkowitz will kick it off again for the Trojans. Gonna kick it deep again. And, Ellis fumbles the football again. He picks it up. Hit near the 20-yard line. Trouble with the football. We talked about in the pregame. Cold weather. It's obviously wet out there now. The grass is getting damp as the evening goes on, so we see the effects of that here taking place here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and it's tough, and it hurts. When that ball hits your hand, it's high, and it hurts, especially when you have bare hands like Ellis has, even with gloves on. It's just a tough catch sometimes, and it looks like he wasn't even supposed to field it. Maybe let somebody else field it.
Yeah, it looked like McClinton was coming over at the last second to get it. They're going to hand it off to Holly, working the left side, and nothing happening there as number 21, Bennett Blankenship, making the tackle for St. James.
That has not been the case for Holly. He trying to get to the edge continuously. It's just Blankenship and those linebackers are sniffing it out.
They're going to move Ellis in motion to the right. Bonner going to look to throw here, coming near side. Huffman comes back, makes the football. Oh, no, they're going to say incomplete. They're going to say he dropped it or was out of bounds. I think he dropped it, but it was a nice throw by Bonner on the back shoulder.
It's almost every time he looks to throw, he's going to look to Huffman, and it's almost every time a back shoulder throw, and we've seen that kind of not work out for him on that last drive. The defense is reading it. They're starting to play a little more zone, and they're all looking right at the quarterback.
Yeah, they move the safety over here. Going to look to throw. Bonner in some trouble, rolls right. Still looking. There's a flag that comes in the secondary. He throws late. Pass is going to be complete over there to Roberson. Short gain, not enough for the first down, but where that came in the secondary is in the area of, I would think, maybe defensive holding.
I saw holding on the offensive line.
That could be too. That's a long way to call it, though.
He was very far away.
It is holding against the defense, so that will be a first down for Trinity. We saw them aided by a flag on the first drive of the third quarter. As we hear a little Phil Collins in the background there. Anyway, they're going to move the sticks. It'll be a first down for Trinity, a much-needed first down for the Wildcats.
Kind of catch a break there a little bit.
Going to mark it out here out to the 30-yard line. Clock starts again. 4:20 left here, third quarter. Roberson comes in motion to the near side. Going to try and Holly back to the right side. Tate Holly with some good run there on first down across the 35 out towards the 37, 38-yard line for the Wildcats.
See what St. James' defensive adjustments are. Like you said, they moving the safety over to that side of the field where Bonner is, but usually the ball is on our side of the field, and Bonner likes to throw it to the left. Now it's on the right. He hasn't really thrown it to the right much, or he's thrown 2 picks.
Give it back to Holly. Tries the right side. Not much happening there on that carry. It'll bring up a critical third down here late in the third quarter for the Wildcats. 3.5 left, and the clock's still moving.
And at this point, you kind of want to play a little field position. 3rd and 3. Don't know what you want to do here.
Going to throw quick to the far side there. A nice throw and catch on the far side. complete to number 2, James Handy. Picks up about 5 yards and a first down for the Wildcats.
Sure, James Handy, he's running that same route. Again, that's the only one that's really working for him. They haven't worked over to the middle of the field all night.
And the safeties, as we keep mentioning, they're widening out to the hash on each side here. Bonner's going to pull the ball. He's going to try to take it himself. There's a flag that comes in, and he is driven back there by a man we've called several times tonight, Paul Woodham. There is a flag in the area of offensive holding, and it is offensive holding against Trinity.
That was kind of obvious. Receiver put his hands up. It was Roberson who put his hands up. When you put your hands up, it kind of says, hey, I just did something wrong. The flag's going to come out every time.
Looks like St. James is going to decline it. The play lost several yards there as Woodham came flying up from the safety position. Actually, they're going to mark it back. They're going to take the flag from the spot of the foul. And it's going to mark it way back there. Back to the 25-yard line, 26-yard line. They got to get all the way out here to the St. James 48, so it's 1st and 26. Bonner looks, throws, far sideline. There's a wheel route on the far side. It goes incomplete. He was looking for Roberson that time. Goes out of bounds and brings up second down.
Just giving his receiver a chance, but the ball went out of bounds. Roberson had no chance to come down with that football.
2:35 left third quarter. Momentum here on the side of St. James, but I think it's important to realize that Trinity defense really didn't give up the lead. Nothing wrong with the punt if it gets into that situation here. Put your defense back out there, see if they can make a play. Here's a screen pass this time. And Holly and St. James is all over. They read it perfectly as it's going to bring up a third down and long, as number 21, Blankenship, was all over that time on the catch by Holly.
Yeah, Bennett Blankenship read it all the way, almost came down with the 4th interception of the night by Bonner. And, again, if he catches that one, there's nobody in front of him to make a tackle, and he takes another one to the
play.
house.
Loses a yard, 3rd and 27. Holly motions this time out of the formation. Bonner's going to have a quarterback draw himself. And St. James is all over number 73, Bradley Woodham, making the tackle. 4th down and obviously punting situation for Trinity.
And Preston Berry has the leg to send it at least to the 35-yard line, and that would be a tremendous punt, and that's pushing it.
Zach Russell standing back at his 35-yard line here with 1:30 left in the third quarter. Clock continues to move.
St. James is going to come after this punt.
High snap. Barry gets it, though. He gets it away. Nice kick. Russell Fair catches it. He fumbles the ball. It's loose on the ground. He's able to get on top of it there at the last second back at the 39-yard line. So almost a huge break there for Trinity. 1:14 left third quarter.
And they utilized the play-action pass on their last drive 2 times. One to get down into the red zone, the other to score in the red zone. We'll see if they continue to feed Austin Gavin, which hasn't really been working tonight, or will they give Drew Fett an opportunity to continue to go deep on this defense.
And good to see number 10, Mays McMillan, back on the field for Trinity after he had to come out with the injury. So they'll come back to this wing T look for St. James. They're going to hand this one off. Working with left side there. Number 5, Cosner Harrison for a couple yards. Moves across the 40 to the 41 and a gain of 2 on the play.
And they really want to take this into the fourth quarter and just continue this slugfest out. They're only up 7, but in this type of game, it feels like they're up by much more.
It does. We're under a minute to play here in the third quarter. 2nd and 8 from the 41. Back to the I formation with Blankenship at the fullback, Gavin at tailback. They give it to Austin Gavin. He tries the right side here. He stood up, maybe got a yard, and that's it. This Trinity defense all over him. And St. James does not have to run another play if they don't want to.
Coleman Morris came up and made the tackle, and it's been gang tackling all night. Coleman Morris had a hat on him, as well as Sanders had a hat on Gavin.
That play's going to take us to 0-0 here to end the third quarter. Our score from Carlisle Field. Some fireworks in the third quarter. St. James 14, Trinity 7. You're watching the SternTech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590.
All right, Monroe, you ready? Monroe. Ooh.
Welcome back to Carlisle Field. St. James leads it 14-7 to start the fourth quarter. 3rd and 7 for the Trojans. They're going to play action here. Throwing out there on the far side, coming back to catch the football is going to be number 84, Turner Davis. And it's going to move the chains in a first down. Nice throw and catch that time from Fed to Davis.
Well, last drive, they come back. They did the exact same thing, play action, and then they went deep with 2 streaking players running straight up the field. This time, both of those players stop and turn around about 15 yards up the field, and Turner Davis comes down with the catch.
So 1st and 10 at the 48 as St. James moves into Wildcat territory. Kane Young here with Joseph Sims on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week as you guys are watching the Montgomery Sports Network. Thanks for tuning in. Back to a shotgun look here. Haven't seen that in a while. And Fett's going to look to throw. He's going deep on the far side over there. And that pass was almost intercepted on the far side. Looked like Holly was in coverage. It might have been William Davis out there for Trinity. Bring up 2nd down and long. And Fett has not thrown an interception this year, but he was close on that one.
Yeah, Davis almost came down with that one. It's almost like he was running the route out there on the sideline.
Clock stops at 11:09. Surprised to see a pass there on 1st down.
I don't see it as a surprise, but I kind of see it as a miscommunication. It looked like the receiver ran a stop and go, and then he just miscommunication.
Good point. Shotgun again here on 2nd and 10. Austin Gavin gets the carry. Right side, he's trying to get outside. Spins his way across the 45 down towards the 43. Picks up about half of it. We're going to bring up 3rd down and about 5 for St. James.
You have to tip your hat to head coach Jim Perry. He came in with a game plan, and I'm going to feed Austin Gavin no matter what. And despite him not having any running room at all, he has continued to feed him.
3rd and 5, 10:40 left, 3rd quarter. St. James trying to get that 2-score lead here on the Wildcats. Play clock under 10 as they break the huddle. They're going to have to hurry. Back in the shotgun. They fake the handoff. They're throwing over here on the near side. Nice throw and catch. And it's going to be a 1st down complete to number 87, Michael Shaleta, for St. James as they move down to the 30-yard line.
So Fett's come out throwing here in the second half, and it's working. It's moving the chains. It's keeping the defense on their toes. Of course, they're used to Gavin getting the ball almost every single play.
10 minutes left. Clock moving. St. James down to the 30. They're getting into field goal range here for Jan Walkowitz if need be. They come back here, stay in the shotgun again. This time Austin Gavin, a little buck sweep back into the right, has some room. Good run for him. He's down close to another 1st down, down near the 20-yard line.
They're just going to continue to chip away at that clock. A field goal is huge in this situation, making it a 2-possession game. And that is what they're aiming for, just to continue that clock, keep moving. Doesn't matter. They just want to get a few 5 or 6 yards here and there.
1st and 10, ball officially resting at the 19. They go back to the I formation with Blankenship and Gavin. They're going to motion Beard to the left. Austin Gavin gets it. He's dropped immediately there by the Trinity defense. Looked like Ladner in there again. Check that 26. Looked like Walton Cherry on the tackle for Trinity. Bring up second down and about 11.
And St. James is perfectly fine with that. They're content with the field goal. They're going to keep it on the ground, or if they're going to throw it, it's going to be out in the flats. But if they have what they're looking for, and I think if they want it, the post might be there if the safety continues to creep up and try and help in that run support.
Back in the shotgun on 2nd and 11. 8.5 left here, third quarter. Fett's going to look to throw. Going
There
over
it
the
is.
middle, looking for the post. Throws back in the end zone and almost intercepted again. It goes out of the end zone. Stops the clock momentarily. There's a player down for Trinity.
I don't know if James Davis heard exactly what we said and said they're going to throw the post, but he baited Fett into throwing it. He crept up just a little bit, and as soon as he saw his release coming, he bolted back there and almost came down with what could have been an interception. Almost his second try at an interception this drive?
On this drive. So we'll take a quick time out here with the injured player. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company, and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call Extermatech, 334-209-4590.
Injured player walking off, Mace McMillan, who came back in after getting injured in the third quarter. That young man, senior, leaving everything he has out there on the field for the Wildcats. So 3rd and 11. Do we see a throw, or do you think they run and try to set up a field goal?
3rd and 11. I think you run it, keep the clock going. I think a field goal is huge in this situation. You got to trust your kicker.
Back to the wing tee here for St. James. Little cross-buck double handoff action there. And Trinity well schooled on that one. Ready for that. Alexander Wisenhunt on the carry. Picked up a yard, and that's it. That's a play, textbook play from the wing tee. Sometimes that thing busts open. Trinity will have none of it. 4th down in a field goal situation.
So you won't snap this ball unless the play clock is under 10 seconds at least.
Walkowitz on. This will be a 39-yard attempt. His long of the year is 43. He's 5 for 5 on the season. Russell's the holder. Good snap and spot. Kicks up. And it is no good wide right. I jinxed him. I apologize for that. But the Trinity defense makes a stand and gives their offense another chance here to try to even things up.
They do make the stand, and their offense has got to come back out here and respond. And Bonner has been good when throwing an interception, being able to flush that play and move on to the next. He's going to have to do that yet again tonight and see if he can lead his offense to a score to tie this game up here in the 4th quarter.
So 1st and 10 from the 20 for Trinity, as apparently it's all the way turned up here at the moment. Bonner going to look to throw. They're going on the wheel right here. Oh, he throws it late. Boy, good job by number 4, Roberson, to come back and almost play defense there as a receiver.
These defenders out here are having a field day. They know it's coming. They know it's a short pass to the short side of the field, and they're just waiting for him. And when Bonner is late on the throw, it makes it even easier. Wisenhunt almost had an interception there, and like you said, Roberson able to play a little defense out there and prevent an interception.
2nd and 10. 7:36 left. Clock stopped for the moment. They go trips to the near side. Now Holly's going to motion out to empty the backfield. And Bonner's going to look to throw. Over the middle here. Throws late. It goes incomplete. He was looking for Huffam again. Bring up 3rd down and 10.
That was a strong throw. It was the correct read if you put it in the right spot, and that's high, and he did, just a little too high.
So 3rd and 10, 7:31 remaining here from Carlisle Field. St. James 14, Trinity 7. Wildcats got to get to the 30 for a 1st down. Bonner looks near side here, going deep over here. There's some hand funding over here on the near side. That's no flag on the play. He was looking for James Handy. It goes incomplete, and it'll bring off 4th down.
that is the right call, despite me disagreeing with it. There was some hand fighting, but the defender got his head turned around, which is the most important part. And when you do that, the referees will allow hand fighting. This is not a great throw either. It's kind of out of bounds.
4th down. Barry's going to in the punt. Zach Russell back deep for St. James. He continues to move back towards his own 35-yard line.
That's a big stand by the Trojan defense.
Kick is away, goes off the side of the foot here. We'll see if he gets a friendly roll. It does across midfield, but it's going to be excellent field position here for St. James. They're going to take over on their own 47 as the clock stops with a 7:11 left in this contest, meeting number 44 between these two schools. And St. James trying to salt away this last 7-11 to get 4 in a row over Trinity.
Well, right now we're at a gas station, 7-Eleven, here at this.
I was going to mention that, but I didn't think anybody in the South knew what 7-Eleven was. We don't have one here in Montgomery, but anyway.
They got great hot dogs.
Good reference. So they got a Slurpee, too, 44-ouncer. 1st down, they're going to hand this off to the up back. That's going to be Austin Gavin. Going to pick up maybe a yard, and that's it. And again, that Trinity defense, Colton Fuller in there on the stop for the Wildcats.
Ooh, and this ball will stay on the ground most likely this whole drive. You want to stay aggressive to a certain extent. You have the lead and you have the clock moving in the 4th quarter, but you don't want to be too reckless with that football. And you can trust Drew Fett. He hasn't thrown an interception all year.
Bunch set to the right on 2nd and 9. It's a toss. Austin Gavin working the right side there, trying to get outside. It's stretched out. He gets a couple yards. Cross midfield. Actually, going to pick up about 5 on the play. Bring up 3rd down and about 4.
This would be a perfect time for Austin Gavin to just start getting his strides in and getting those chunk plays, 5-6 yards here and there, and keeping the clock moving. You want to, if you are going to give the ball back, you want it at least to go down under 3 minutes.
3rd down and 4 from the 47 of Trinity. Back to the shotgun. We're under 6 minutes to play now. Austin Gavin gets it right side. He has the 1st down. Drives his way in down to about the 40-yard line. So 1st down for St. James, and that clock is going to continue to move.
And you have 3 timeouts if you're Trinity. So if the clock continues to go down under 2 minutes maybe, you're going to have to start thinking about when you want to use your timeouts, because if they do get in there and they kick a field goal, have another chance, or even score, you're down 2 possessions, and you got to have enough time to score on 2 possessions. And the way your offense is looking, it's been a little inconsistent out there.
1st and 10 at the 39. Back to the wing T look. Hands it off. Austin Gavin as the up back. Moves his way across the 35 down to the 33, so 6 yards there. So picking up some chunks against this Trinity defense. Mays McMillan is not in the game here. We see him over the sideline talking to a couple of his teammates. It's a big loss for the Wildcats at the moment, as he's made several plays tonight for Trinity.
Yeah, he has, and he's trying to get back out there. It was that same knee that he injured earlier in the game. Trying to get back out there, that'd be a huge addition if he could, but it's a huge loss as it is right now.
2nd down and about 4. Back to that wing T look here for St. James. The motion Wisenhunt. Austin Gavin again, right side. Not much happening there. Picks up about a yard. They'll bring up 3rd down and about 2 for the Trojans.
It's about in the same position as they were last time when they kicked the field goal and missed it.
Yeah, they snap this ball. They're going to be under 4 minutes here.
They're getting it lined down at 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, a little surprised they're back at the line already. Play clock still has 15 on it. It's a toss. Austin Gavin, right side. He's not going to have it, I don't believe, on the spot. 4th down.
Ooh, do you send your field goal unit out there, or do you go for it?
It'd be a long one. It'd be about 47, 48 yards from this spot.
He had the distance for it on the last kick. It was just inaccurate.
4th down and 1 from the 31. They got to get inside the 30 here for the 1st down.
This would be huge if Trinity came up with a stop right here and kept it at a one-possession game.
3:20 left in this contest. Bunch set to the near side. Quarterback sneak for Fett. Based on the reaction from the St. James sideline, he has it. It's going to depend on the spot, though. And I think we're going to have to end up getting a measurement.
There is a flag on the play.
St. James says they have the first down. It's personal foul against Trinity. So they will have the first down for St. James. Clock stopped at the moment with 3:09 remaining.
Tim Perry being very aggressive. That was an aggressive play call. Go ahead and get the first down. Continue to chew out clock. Now you're forcing Trinity to start maybe using your timeouts sooner or later here in this drive.
They have not marked off the flag yet. The official's still having a conversation.
I wonder, can you decline a personal foul penalty?
No, they're going to mark it off. They may have just been getting the number.
So I feel like if you could decline one, I would decline if he had enough for the first down.
Head official talking to Coach Perry. Now he comes back to the middle of the field. So they're going to spot this at about the 16-yard line, 17-yard line. They wind the clock up. 3 minutes left as St. James breaks the huddle. Back to the wing tee. They'll hand this one off. This time, number 5, Harrison on the carry. Inside the 15, down to the 13. Picks up 4 on first down.
Clock just continuing to move, and they continue to go down on the line with about 15 seconds on the clock. They could milk at least 5 or 6 more seconds, and that's kind of big in a situation like this.
2.5 left. Clock still moving. 20 on the play clock. They got to snap this with about 2:07 or 2:08 left if they choose to do so. Harrison gets it right side. He's inside the 10. Looks like he's going to have a first down, and now we see the timeout taken by Trinity with 2:01 remaining. We'll take a quick timeout with them. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590.
And welcome back here to Carlisle Field. Kane Young here with Joseph Sims. We saw no scoring in the first half. We saw 3 touchdowns in the third quarter. And here's St. James trying to milk the clock. They're actually going to have a third down and 1 with 2:01 remaining.
Yeah, and if they don't get this here, they kick the field goal, give it back to that Trinity offense with probably about 1:40 on the clock and forcing them to score twice, 10 points.
So the third down and 1, ball resting at the 8-yard line for St. James. It was a scoreless first half. Then Trinity took the opening possession of the third quarter and scored to go up 7-0. We saw St. James answer the play-action pass setting up the score. Then we got the pick 6 for St. James. That created our margin here at 14-7. So third down and 1. It looked like Trinity jumped offside there. It's going to be a freebie for St. James.
And honestly, I think if I'm Tim Perry, this sounds weird, and probably you've never seen it before. If you do get the first down here, I think you kneel it down twice and kick a field goal.
They have
and force them to timeout.
There are 2 timeouts remaining, 2:01 left. At a minimum, they could take at least 50 seconds off the clock at this point.
I would want them to play their timeouts before I give them the ball back. That would be my goal.
Wisenhunt in motion. They gave it to Austin Gavin. Left side down to about the 2-yard line. Another timeout taken by Trinity. We'll keep it right here. Clock stopped with 1:53 left. Here on the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week. Cold night here. No breeze, thankfully. Like last night when I was taking my kids trick-or-treating. The fastest trick-or-treating we've ever had, 45 minutes through the neighborhood. But I digress. Here it is, second and goal from the 2. So getting back to your point, they got one timeout left. The Wildcats do.
I would not want to put my offense in a situation where they can give up the football. You know, there's been a few low snaps in the game, nerves. You know, this is a tense game. You never know what's going to happen. I might just kneel it down, be safe, trust my field goal kicker can make it inside the 5-yard line, almost closer than an extra point.
So second and goal with the 2. 1:53 left as the teams come back on the field. I'll see if St. James will stay in that wing T look. We just saw Trinity with a big goal line stand early in the game. This time they come back with just one back there. They're going to hand us off. Wisenhunt, he fumbled the football. It's loose on the ground. It looks like Trinity's recovered. So they switched it up. They went to that Georgia Tech flexbone look. They handed it off to Wisenhunt on the sweep around the end. He lost the football. I didn't see who recovered it for the Wildcats, but it's going to be an opportunity here for Trinity with 1:46 remaining.
All you got to do is force them to make a timeout and then kick the field goal. It's 1 minute and 46 seconds on the clock. There's no way they can go down, score with no timeouts, and then get an onside kick and kick a field goal again.
All my money was on Austin Gavin to get the football there. He didn't get it.
So it's pointless, and you're running wing T, which is where the ball moving around a lot of motion.
So first and 10, 1:46 left. Twins set here, 2-by-2 look. Bonner rolls out. He's in trouble. Throws it late here near the sideline. And going up at high point in the football is going to be a first down for the Wildcats. Number 2, James Handy on the reception as Trinity gets out of the hole out near the 20-yard line.
Now, I've been waiting to use this punt all night. That was a handy catch from James Handy there, getting him out of the end zone.
Clock moving, 1:30. They're out to the 21. They have one timeout remaining. Bonner, they're throwing the screen back over here. Handy near side has some blocking, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. A wise decision on his behalf. He picks up about 5 yards on the play.
Now, he probably could have cut it back inside and got a few extra yards, but he's smart, high football IQ. Go ahead and get out of bounds. You want to save that timeout for a crucial situation, and when you throw the ball over the middle, when you know you're going to have to use it, instead when you go to the sideline and know you can get out of bounds.
So second down and 5, 1:20 remaining.
Bonner's going to have to go deep on this drive if they continue to chip and chunk.
They empty the backfield. Bonner looks left, steps up, throws over the middle. Has a man. It's Huffam at midfield. 25 yards and a first down as Jake Huffam makes the reception for Trinity.
Well, that was a beautiful throw. It actually was a little wobbly. It looked like a dying duck out there, but it got to its target, and that's what matters. It completes right at the 50.
Clock moving, 1:05 left. They empty the backfield again, and we got a timeout taken by St. James. We're going to keep it right here. Clock stopped with 1:04. But it was a drive here by Trinity. They moved out of the shadow of their own end zone again and hit midfield. They got 64 seconds to move 50 yards here at this point.
And we'll just go back to that fumble. What happened? Trinity all night has been committing turnovers, 4 turnovers all night long. And now they're in a situation just down one score. They can go and score and tie this football game.
You got to hand it to the Trinity defense. They have the goal line stand in the first quarter. They have another goal line stand here. And really, it's the offense that gave up the lead. So the defense was never on the field to give up the lead. And that's got to be a sore point with them right now. But nevertheless, they have an opportunity here. The Trinity offense does to make amends here in these final minute 4.
And this is where you start going to the part of the field that you haven't been going all night. You haven't gone over the middle. That's where you just saw that big play, right over the middle.
They empty the backfield. Ladner goes out wide left. Bonner looks, pump fake, steps up. He's under heavy pressure. Tries to escape it. Buys some more time. Now he's going to roll back to the left. It opens up for him. There's nobody over there. He throws late across the field. And it goes incomplete. That play took a lot of time, 51 seconds remaining. I think Bonner could have ran over there. He had a lot of real estate on the left side.
Well,
and there are some tired players out there for that St. James defense. Those defensive linemen, a lot of hands on the hips, bending over at the moment.
That was not necessarily the smartest play we've seen from Bonner. I know he's trying to extend the play, but you can't take 15 seconds off a clock and not complete the pass.
2nd and 10. 51 seconds remaining. Bonner looks, throws near side here. Has a man complete on the sideline again. James Handy makes the reception, and he's out of bounds, and it's going to be a first down for Trinity. 45 seconds left.
Good throw. Nice, easy. What they've been doing all night long, just slinging it over there to the short side of the field on the sideline.
Looked like St. James sat in the zone that time. He went over top the cornerback and hit him there behind him between the cornerback and safety for 10 yards and a first down at the 40-yard line. Ladner goes out. They empty the backfield again. Trips to the near side here. Bonner looks right. Has time. Good protection. Has a lot of time. Looks late. Throws towards the end zone there. Has a man racing toward the sidelines. Ladner goes incomplete. Knocked away at the last second there at the goal line by Woodham.
Woodham almost had another interception there.
Yeah, he's going for the hat trick. Has 2 interceptions. He is slow to get up.
Bonner taking a lot of time off the clock with these rollout passes. And the thing, what you want to do, St. James defense is forcing him to throw it where he doesn't want to throw it. He wants to go deep.
We got an injured player. I think it's Woodham. He could not get up. That's a free break here for Trinity. We're going to keep it right here. Paul Woodham's had a heck of a game tonight. 2 interceptions. Knocked that pass away there at the goal line. He was slow to get up, trying to get back. It's a free timeout for Trinity. I also think it's a much-needed break for the St. James defense. A lot of guys really hands on hips out there right now at the moment. Especially for the defensive line running all over the place here. So we'll reset it. Woodham's able to walk off.
And that's a big loss to this defense. Woodham has been making plays.
I really just think he needs to catch his breath. He got to go all the way across the field there. He chased Ladner. Ladner was out wide left, came all the way across the field on that throw. So it is 2nd down and 10, 35 seconds remaining here. You're watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. Kane Young here with Joseph Sims. If you're just joining us, shame on you. You should have been here all night, but that's okay. We're glad you're with us now. Trinity trying to tie this thing up potentially. Bonner looks right, steps up in the pocket. He's hit. The ball's loose on the ground, and it's got to be recovered. There's a rugby scrum for it. I think St. James has it. They do. It is recovered by St. James. 73 on the recovery. Bradley Woodham for St. James. That's going to do it here tonight for the Trojans. They're going to get win number 4 in a row over Trinity.
Well, Trinity just handed the present right back to St. James after they got the gift on the goal line, the early Christmas present there. Bonner's been kind of loose with the football all night, throwing the football and now running it, trying to create some time. Didn't have 2 hands on the football, and that's going to cost his team.
Big hit, recovered by Bradley Woodham, and St. James is going to run the clock out here and go to 9-1. Trinity has 1 timeout left. Fett takes a knee, and that may just do it. Clock's running out, and St. James gets their 4th consecutive win over Trinity as the sweet jubilation on the home side here for the Trojans, as they are going to win at 14-7 over the Wildcats. As you've been watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here from Carlisle Field in Montgomery. Once again, our final score, St. James 14, Trinity 7. We're going to take a quick timeout. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
Extermatech Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the Extermatech family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. Extermatech is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call Extermatech 334-209-4590.
And welcome back to Carlisle Field, where you just watched St. James win his 4th consecutive game over the Trinity Wildcats. They finished the season 9-1. Trinity ends up 6-4. Both these teams are going to go to the playoffs, Joseph, and from what I've seen tonight, both these teams are going to have an opportunity to advance here in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, and both of these teams have a lot of upside, but the thing about Trinity is you've got to control your turnovers. That's what cost them in this game tonight. You had interceptions there at the fumble on that last drive. You can't do that. You can't be loose with the football, and that's what cost them. They couldn't overcome it. I commend them for staying this close in the game with all the turnovers and all the problems they had on offense. But you just can't do that. You can't continuously put your defense in a situation like that and keep saying, hey, stop them, stop them, stop them. Eventually they're going to score.
So once again, our final score here from Carlisle Field, St. James 14, Trinity 7 here. As you've been watching the Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week on the Montgomery Sports Network, we'll take a moment here to thank our sponsors one last time for the 2019 season. Our title sponsor, once again, was Extermatech Pest Control, locally owned and operated. If you have bugs bugging you, if you have bugs bugging you, they've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Call Extermatech at 334-209-4590. We say thank you to attorney Matt Matthews of ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com. Visit ProtectingAlabamaWorkers.com or call 334-721-4878. We say thank you to the Hank Williams Museum, located in downtown Montgomery at 118 Commerce Street. If you want to learn more about the life and history of a Montgomery man named Hank Williams, visit the Hank Williams Museum. Large groups are always welcome. And visit the gift shop there in downtown Montgomery. We also say thank you to Chris's Famous Hot Dogs, celebrating their 102nd year in business at 138 Dexter Avenue. Don't forget that Chris's also caters. Call your orders in advance, 334-265-6850. We say thank you to Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks. Mid-State Burglar Bars and Ironworks is a local owned and operated business. They have been in business since 1985. Call Mid-State at 334-313-9015. We say thank you to La Zona Rosa Mexican Cafe, located at 2838 Zelda Road, just a few minutes from downtown Montgomery. Make sure you check out their updated menus, the authentic Tex-Mex and Salvadorian cuisine. They are open Monday through Saturday. Call La Zona Rosa at 334-274-1153. We also say thank you to Delta Printing and Sign Company. They've been in business since 1979 and are still local owned and operated here in Montgomery. They are a second-generation business. When you need signs, printing, or direct mail, call Delta. Let them do it. Call 334-271-COPY. We thank our media partner, the stations of Blue Water Broadcasting, News Talk 93.1, Kiss FM, 97.9 Jams, Bama Country 98.9, Yo 100.5, Classic Country The Possum, 104.9 The Gump, and 107.1 The Vault. They are local folks helping local businesses. Call them today and let them help your business, 334-244-0961. And we also thank Mac the Camera Guy Photo Booths. Visit MacTheCameraGuy.com for all your photo booth needs here in the Montgomery area. So, wrap things up here from Carlisle Field. Joseph, excellent game tonight between these two teams. We saw some goal line stands. We saw some good offense there in the third quarter, some good adjustments by the coaching staffs. Just a good, clean, crisp high school football game on a cold November night.
Yeah, and I really love the fight from both teams. Both teams had an opportunity to maybe have a big play, and St. James took advantage of theirs. Trinity did not. They had some fumble problems and interception problems. But I know Coach Lowell will be happy with what they're going into the playoffs with.
So, once again, our final score here from Carlisle Field, it is St. James 14 and Trinity 7. We'll wrap things up here, go through our staff here on the Montgomery Sports Network. Once again, we thank Extermatech Pest Control Game of the Week here. You've been watching the Montgomery Sports Network. Our executive producer is Stephanie House. Our technical director is Tommy House. Broadcast graphics tonight were Stephen Mock. On camera, we had Nathaniel McCall. Social media was Stephen Mock and Tommy House. And from support from Mac McWhorter. Our color commentator tonight was Joseph Sims. My name is Kane Young. We thank you for watching us here on the Montgomery Sports Network. We thank you for watching us all year long. We'll see you next year in 2020. Good night, everyone.